Hello, hello, hello. Good day, everyone. Hello, travelers out there in the stars. How are you? It's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. We are playing a game called Traveler today. If you do not know of this system, it is a tabletop role-playing game not so different than from Dungeons & Dragons. A game set in the stars. There is no magic in this. So it is going to be a sci-fi, science fiction, of course, but there's going to be, of course, no magic, from what we understand. Traveler's got a cool character creation system, one where you could actually die before the game even starts, which is pretty cool. So it actually gives you events, mishaps, and things along the way during your character creation. It's a great way to build arcs and storylines and character development right before you start and sit down at the table. We've got some wonderful characters today. I'm joined with Dampster. I'm also joined with Architect, Grenig, Solace, and the Raven of Death. We got a pretty full ship today. And this is going to be our new weekly Wednesday show. We were a little bit late today, and I apologize for that, but that is because I was working behind the scenes during the past hour. I skipped lunch just so I can go through and try to get the overlays set up. It's still not 100% complete, but we learned we were going to do this game on Sunday, so we all had only about 3 or 4 days to get everything banged out, so hopefully we'll have a show for you today. Let's switch on over. I thank you all for coming by. You guys are all the shit. Honestly. I'll see you guys in there. Let's meet everybody. Shall we? You guys there? You guys ready?
Hello.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Hello. Good, good. Well, we are going to squeeze right on in here and see what we have going on. Hello. Here I am. Welcome to the ship. We got a lot of names. We got a lot of webcams. There's 6 players today, so it's a pretty big game. Super hyped about it. I'm very excited to be playing it. Can I get some Mythem love or that Mythem L in chat while we get started here? As we go around, we can start with we'll start with Grenig, and then we'll go around minus the GM, and then we'll talk to the GM after about everything. So Grenig, you first, my friend. Who are you playing today?
I will be playing the role of Joseph Peckman. He's a engineer mechanic. He goes by the name of Thump, as he has quite the limp to him. Kind of a giant of a man. He kind of has a bit of a tragic backstory that I'm sure will pop up here and there, but that's it for now. Nice.
Awesome. Well, let's move over to Dampstern. Dampstern, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Leah Trustamara. Just the raw badass, I'd say. Sniper girl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we have Leah, our sniper girl, which is pretty exciting. We also have Architect down my, I guess the left, my bottom, my right, but I guess the left of the screen here. Architect, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Jake Abraham. He's a bit of a rogue, a bit of a mercenary. He's a good guy at heart. Ex-Marine, did some corporate security for a while, accidentally brought down a corporation, as you do. And
as you do.
And is now just doing a bit of merc work.
Awesome. I am playing a character named Avi. He goes by Avi because he is used to be a surveillance robot or a surveillance droid for the Empire, who has had a bit of a tragic backstory as well, because of course that's how the system is. So he's I guess he's a surveillance droid with backstory, and of course with some he's got some fun secrets, I guess, because sometimes drifting out in the universe where you are seen as a rarity can be quite the adventure. So we'll move on over to Raven of Death. Who are you playing?
I'm playing Gowoni Oniwaya. I am
can't even
a
pronounce it.
Gowoni Oniwaya. Basically, he's
Nailed
a
it.
diplomat and shaman, as well as
Awesome.
a healer.
Awesome. So above me is Solace. Solace is a good friend of mine. We've been playing, same with Architect, Grenig, Raven of Death. We've been playing Star Citizen for a while, so this game kind of spawned off of our love for roleplay and our love for the space systems and sci-fi. So Solace, above me, you want to take it away whenever you're ready. Also, Solace and Architect are going to be kind of doing a dual GM thing. We have the GM, who Solace is, then we have Architect to my left, who is also going to be, or I guess to the left of the screen, who is also going to be doing a lot of GM assistance as well. Yeah, so it's going to be awesome. Have fun, guys, and just take it away, Solace.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sector that is known as Meridian. We are in the 4th Exodus of man. Those of us who've been through that know what the 3 prior Exoduses is. For the benefit of the audience, it basically means that mankind has ventured far out into space. They've mastered warp drive, and they've mastered terraforming. Well, mastered is a bit of a generous term there. And they have found this wonderfully rich sector, which has been nicknamed Meridian, or Sector 174. To give a bit of context just for the audience, I think most of the players are familiar with this. The major political powers in this sector are found in 3 categories. The first of which is the formal alliance, not Empire Myth, but alliance, just to make sure you know that. They are a sort of loosely
Hand of Fate all morning.
All right, that's fine. I'll lay you off. They're a loosely confederated government of sort of a coalition of various planetary commands and governments who form together. They have the largest military presence in this sector. And not necessarily bad guys, but definitely wouldn't say they're good guys. We also have the noble houses, who you will find will be representations of more ancient societies from Earth. There's justification for all of this, but long and short of it, we're going to bump into sort of ancient Egyptians, Native Americans, hint, hint, and other such cultures represented by the noble houses. And finally, we have the mega corporations. As with any good science fiction, we need giant corporations who basically have their fingers in every filthy little pie. Today, we will be embarking upon our sort of prototype adventure. Bear with me because I haven't GM'd or refereed, I believe the technical term is for Traveller, in a long while, hence me recruiting Architect as my go-to rules buddy. If you ever see him pull up a rule book, it means that I've asked him to do something I have no understanding of whatsoever. He's also going to be moderating a lot of the Roll20 stuff for us, like that, because I'm also not very comfortable with that. Also, a massive thanks here to Mythematic for both hosting us and doing all the beautiful production work you guys are seeing. He's put a ton of work into that, and it looks stunning, and we can't thank him enough for that, because originally this was planned to just be whenever we can be bothered doing it. So this is quite exciting for me. This is a whole new realm of RP. Now, with that, we're going to launch straight into things, unless anyone has anything they want to chirp in with right now.
I would just like to say that if you hear children screaming and running around, it's not my fault.
Yeah. Keep them under control.
It's your fault.
Electro collars
You
is
are
the
the
only
reason of their existence.
brutal. So, we find each of our players are scattered around the sector. Their backstories have all been written up. We'll actually publish those on Architect's website soon, so any of the audience want to read them and see the horrifying backstories that's led to them being in this position, you're welcome to. But all the players are pretty familiar with them and know where they came from and currently where they are. Now, what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to have a conversation with each of you to sort of recruit you, as it were. It's going to happen via... one very fundamental fact I forgot. Messages in this system cannot travel faster than light. This is something that Traveller established very early on in their development, and it means that you either have this system of one-way messages where you receive the equivalent of a telegram, you write one back and wait for it to arrive, or, as I needed a bit of fudging for this, you are within range of what are known as the IS relay systems, run by a particular corporation we'll bump into later, and you can then have real-time conversations over much larger distances than you otherwise would do. So we're going to have some IS relay conversations just to make sure everyone has a justified reason to wanting to actually come and help out in this particular mission. I'm actually going to start with you, Avi, if that's quite all right. So,
all right, let me...
Yes, sure thing. Abby finds himself, after his fragmented existence, shall we say, on the planet of Ledesma, which is a high-tech, very high-tech urban world. Almost all the corporations have presences here. It's not owned by a single corporation. It's also not run by the Alliance. It is a relatively diverse world, and he's currently hanging out in the starport using a system known as the Merc Web, which is where people tend to look for work. Think of it as a Craigslist for mercenaries and so forth. So when he's ready to go, we shall initiate our first call.
Ready.
Wonderful. Okay, so comm opens up, and you see this haggard-looking sort of rustic gentleman. He's wearing a giant Stetson. He's got a gruffly beard. He obviously hasn't bothered looking after himself. He says, "Hey there, is this Avi?"
Yes, this is Avi.
Ah, Avi, good to see you, buddy. I've been put in contact with you by a mutual friend. Goes by the name of Rusty. I think you know him as Adrian. I believe you met him a few years back. He helped you out. You helped him out. Is that true?
Rusty. Oh, Adrian. Yes.
Yeah, Adrian.
Way back.
Yeah, absolutely. He said you were a trustworthy bot, and we could get in contact with you now. I've been contacted by some Russian guy. He wants me to get some work done, and I mentioned it to Rusty while we were having a drink down on Ozark, and he said I should have a word with you because you'd be right up this side of the street. I wonder, you currently looking for work at the moment, buddy?
Yes, I can work.
Wonderful. So we got this situation over on the planet Balkis, not far from where you are here. You could probably pick up a transport from the yard back there. We just need you to head on over to what did I say? Balkis? Sorry, I forgot. Balkis. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. You got very good memory circuits. I like that.
Yes.
And he wondered if you might be able to help us out. Now the objective of the mission, the employer, he won't tell us who he is, but he's paying a hell of a lot of money if you can help get some refugees off this planet. Is that something that might be in your wheelhouse?
You would like me to try to get refugees off of the planet?
That's correct, but don't worry, you ain't gonna be by yourself. We don't think that's wise to send you down to Balkis. It's a bit of a dangerous place, there's a lot of mercenary units running around there and such. We got a whole crew figured out, but we just need you to run navigation and maybe do a little bit of cooking if you don't mind.
I can cook. I've learned to cook. I have learned very well. I have spent over 472 days cooking alone.
Goodness, that's a lot of cooking. So if that's good for you, if you can complete the mission and then send us a wave through Merkweb, we'll wire the money straight on over to you.
Very well, I can do that.
Wonderful. So if you could just go and secure yourself a transport to Balkis, we're going to send you a little advance money. Make sure you got enough money to get over there. When you're there, if you could keep your eyes out or ears out or whatever circuitry you use for such things for a guy named Jacob, he's going to be the sort of de facto in command for this.
Microphones inside the cranial piece of my camera here to act much like ears.
Yeah, I totally understand every word you just said. Okay, fantastic. Well, we real appreciate that, buddy. Just let us know when you're done, and I'll make sure I put in hello to you from Rusty.
Okay. Tell Rusty Adrian I said greetings, and I hope he is well. And ask him if he had received my 4-cheese mac and cheese I had shipped 400 days ago.
400 days? You sure it's going to be okay by now? Anyway, I'll let him know. Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Probably not.
And he ends the call.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Myth.
That's fine.
So obviously you then wander into the spaceport. You find a happy freighter captain who's he's never seen a droid like you before. You're a very rare breed out in the universe. In fact, nobody's ever seen a droid before. Balkis.
Balkis. Nothing like a good ball kiss. Okay.
Hell yeah. So you manage to secure it with the money that he's forwarded in there. You make sure you've got enough sort of the general supplies, whatever oils you need to keep your servos running and such, and jump onto this freighter.
Awesome.
Right, so
On a freighter. We're going to Balkis on a freighter.
Spot on, yeah.
All right, sweet. Just writing stuff
Sure
down.
thing.
Just so you know, guys, everybody in chat, you guys can always affect the game as well. You guys can just do !, play along. That's a command that anybody can type in and use. You guys can support the channel as well as play along just by checking that traveler image there. It'll give you a nice promotional flyer on how you can.
Yes,
Right.
screw with my party, make them fail stuff and pass
Yes.
stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Right, so we're going to move on to my lovely friend Raven of Death playing Galwoni. Similar situation. He's on his home planet, the beautiful forest planet of Itsati. Gorgeous planet, looks like a Bob Ross painting with a few Star Wars buildings thrown in. Glorious clear lakes, happy friendly trees everywhere, you know, beautiful blue skies all the time. He's recently received the family name, which is a massive honor in the Owoni tribe. He's traveled the universe and sort of, you know, met all the different cultures and stuff as part of various diplomatic corps and healing circles. And he's returned home, and his father, who is one of the leading chieftains in the tribe, has granted him the family name and sort of suggested that he may want to put his skills to use in the universe. So he's going to be in one of his very high-tech teepees, and there will be a comm signal coming in for him when he's ready to go. I'll take that as he's ready to go. Cool. Okay, so it pops up, and there's a chap, a very dark-skinned chap, dressed in a beautiful headdress. He's obviously quite well-to-do. You recognize him as one of the members of the tribe that you spent time with on the planet Barazi, and he introduces himself as Rashad. Galwoni. Galwoni, it is pleasing to see you again.
Pleases me to see you as well.
I hope the spirits have been walking with you, and we wondered if we may be able to request your expert services in a matter of great importance.
What can I do?
Well, we have found that there is a refugee crisis on the agricultural world of Balkis, and we require your aid in helping extract these refugees from the war zone, taking them to somewhere much safer. We believe this may be work of your kind, as we know that you are very keen to help those who are disadvantaged.
I'll see you soon.
Fantastic. If you could make your way to Balkis and keep your eyes out for a man named Jacob, he will be the person who will be running the majority of this task for you. I realize that such things are of no importance to you, but we will transfer a vast sum of money to you or to your tribe upon completion of the task.
So the tribe's fine.
We really appreciate your services in this. May the spirits walk with you, Galwoni.
Walk with you as well.
So obviously he makes his way to the starport of Itsati. Being a member of the noble house, he has no problem securing a transport. I would imagine that his father is very proud of what he's deciding to do with his time and his newfound honor, and sets him up with one of the most fast ships to get him across the sector to Balkis, and off he sets. So now we will move on to Joe, being played by Grenick. So Joe has recently left a planet in a state of disarray. You can find out more on his bio later to be published. And he's currently residing in a seedy bar in the starport of Olmedad. Sorry, I had to pronounce that right. No, Olmedo. No, Olmedad. I don't know where he is. Yeah, he's in Olmedad. Again, he's scanning through the Merc Web, looking for something to apply his vast mechanical skill that hopefully doesn't involve getting his friends killed. And a connection comes through from, it says it's coming from the planet Itursk, which you will recognize as a place you used to work for the Alliance Marine Support Corps on.
Right.
Ready to go. Nice. The comm video opens, and there's a guy covered in oils and, you know, scruffy. He's obviously sort of got a couple of scars on his face and stuff. And you recognize him as actually one of your work crew from back in your time on Itursk. His name is Vladimir. Joe, good to see you, friend. I haven't seen you in many years. How are you? It's Vladimir.
Vlad?
Yes,
Vlad?
Vladimir, you remember me. Yes.
You're looking dirty as always.
I know, I have been working hard as you have taught me to do. The voice is gone, hang on. Comrade, yes. So we wondered if we could ask favor of you. I've been working for mercenary units, repairing ships and so on, using all you taught me, staying away from Voynatech guns. I know
Good.
that is why you have these scars. I shouldn't have brought that up, I'm sorry. Yes, okay, sorry, he is pissed now. Well, ignoring that, moving on. If we maybe could ask you if we could get work, we are in need of engineer for crew of spaceship to help with refugee crisis on Balkan. There is big war happening or some kind of conflict, we do not know. But a man who does not tell me his name is wondering if perhaps you could go and help.
What kind of jump drive is that thing using?
I believe it's using the law derivation of Tiger that you helped design for Shinva Hige.
Oh, my engine?
Not your engine, no. Like lower spec version that they use from blueprints that you saw.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Have you checked the frequency shift on the gravimetric projectors on that thing?
I haven't seen ship yet. Why are you asking me to ask questions? I am not on planet, but I would imagine it's high spec. Shinwa Hige do not cut corners. You know this. You worked for them for 4 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll take it. Somebody's got to look at that. I mean, otherwise, probably the Chronoton plasma RAM scoop's gonna mess up.
Yeah,
so many things.
It's also worth noting, I know you like to send money to family. There's big payout for this job if you reclaim every single one of refugees and take them to a safe place.
You'll send it to my family?
Well, we can arrange this. We can send to you or send to family or split it or whatever you need.
Family's good, thanks.
I appreciate that. We really thank you for your work. Make sure you look up for a man named Jacob at Balkan Spaceport. He'll be waiting for you. He should have a nice hat and, look very obviously like Dodger.
Just a guy named Jacob with a nice hat.
His name is Jacob Abraham. He's got a nice hat. He'll be looking for you too, okay?
Oh, good.
I'm
sure we'll run into each other.
Yeah, I'm sure you will too. Okay, well, thanks very much. Hey, come have a drink with me back on the thirst next time you're around. We'll toast
Joe
the
just turns it off.
Oh, brilliant. So, obviously, Joe's still got a little bit of spare cash left. He uses it to hire himself onto, obviously, the highest tech ship he can find, being a bit of a tech junkie, and makes his way off towards Balkan. So now we will move on to the lovely Leah, who is currently also on the Olmedo belt, conveniently. She has recently been running for one of the corporations as a bounty hunter, requisition department expert, and is, there was some incidents that forced her to maybe look into independent work. Being very familiar with the Merc web system, she's probably been reading it every day, looking for a job of interest as well. She's going to have a wave coming through, but unlike the other waves, this one's got a custom signature on it. They're normally encoded by Alliance methods. This is obviously by somebody who has a bit of technological aptitude, maybe a hacker, maybe somebody you recognize from your youth, shall we say.
Oh boy.
Okay, so the wave opens up and there's a sort of mid-20-year-old guy there, and you recognize him immediately. It's little Louis from the Freaks gang you used to run with back on Ledesma. Hey, Liz, that you, girl?
Louis?
Yeah. How you doing? I ain't seen you in a long time. Damn, you gone grown up.
Way too long. What are you?
Whoa, what happened to your eye, girl? You okay?
I'm fine. Better.
Okay. Just making sure. We always look out for each other. We just got a wave through from real important Russian guy. Says he wants to hire a crew. They ain't got no muscle, nothing, so they looking for somebody who can, use a gun. They also ain't got no pilot, which is going to be a bit of a problem, and I know you pretty good behind the stick.
What do they have? Is it going to be
I don't know. They ain't confirmed to me what they got so far, but they start kind of suggesting they got some kind of navigator. They got some kind of ship's cook. You gonna eat well, girl. You gonna eat well. It's not like our youth. You won't be scrapping. You be getting good food. They got some guy who knows engines, and they got some healer guy. It's gonna be a good crew, man. It's a good crew. It's good pay.
I'm have to work without the. Fine.
Oh, okay, girl. I mean, you don't have to do it, but we really appreciate it because this guy's breathing down our neck, and we don't want the pressure. Yeah, I thought you might want the money. It's a good payout. Okay, so if you want to make your way over to Balkan, something to do with refugees, I know you don't care. You do any kind of work that comes your way. But you make your way over to Balkan, find a guy called Jacob. He's going to be wearing a fancy hat, nice guy. He's going to be sort of in charge of this team.
All right.
All right, thanks, girl. Real holler at you later, girl. Later.
Oh, yeah, bye.
Digital skull springs up on the screen and everything fades away in a cool, fancy hacker style. Sweet. Okay, so obviously she, knowing how to fly and such, probably steals herself a spaceship, if I'm thinking correctly, and belts on over to Balkin, driving like an absolute maniac. Probably nearly getting arrested on the way by Alliance Speed Patrol, but managing to talk her way out of it. Cool. So we're going to move on finally to Jacob. Let's just see if he's ready to go. He is currently on Ledesma as well. He's been hanging around after a few interesting years, shall we say. Generally looking for work that piques his interest. He's going to get a comm wave come through on the old Merc web. I'm assuming that means he's ready to go. Cool. So face is going to pop up. You immediately recognize him. It's Shovel.
Spades! Shovels.
Let me just get the voice. Hang on. Hey, Jake. Hey, buddy. Hey, how's it going? Long time no see. I ain't seen you in a long time. Oh, my God. You ain't looking so good. You been drinking again, buddy?
You just don't even go there.
I suppose there ain't no time when you ain't drinking. Oh, God, I lost the voice again. Sorry. So, like, we got this work we need you to do. It's a bit of a weird mission, right? So I get in touch from this guy. I think he's Corp. I don't know. He's like Russian-speaking bloke. He's spoken enough English for me to understand what he's doing, but he's all fancy talking and stuff. It's a lot of money, but he wants you to head on over to Balkan. First of all, you got to pick up a group of refugees. But most importantly, you're going to have a crew for this as well. We're putting you in charge. We figure you got the best experience in this kind of thing. A group of refugees, they need extracting from the planet, getting somewhere safe. That your kind of thing?
But you want me to babysit?
Yeah, I know it's a bit dull, but here comes the twist, okay? Now, there's a secondary objective, and they're going to pay a massive payout if you succeed in this. In fact, they said not to tell anyone, but they don't really care if any of the refugees survive. They just need one of them. The guy's name's Xander. He's got a subdermal implant on him with the most important communicator that's been floating around the verse in the last 20 years.
That sounds more like my thing.
Yeah, I figured you might be interested in that. Yeah, so I want you to go down to the planet. I want you to find the rest of the crew. You got this weird bunch, man. They're a fucking eclectic bunch. So you're going to have this guy who's some kind of shaman or something. He's going to have a bird with him. His name's going to be Gawoni. You're going to have this chick who's got like a laser eye and a big fucking gun. She's going to be your hired muscle. She's going to be called Leah. You're going to be looking for this giant tank of a fella with scars all over his face. Don't bring up the scars. Don't bring up the fucking scars, okay? His name is going to be Joe. And here's the crazy twist, man. You're going to love this. You got the fucking droid. Do you remember hearing about that droid they built like 20 years back?
The audio visual intelligence, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I think he goes by the name Avi because he's trying to assimilate with people and such. Anyway, he's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So, make sure you pick him up. Look after him. Bring him all back. There's a big kickback for you if you get that fucking subdermal chip, okay? The rest of them don't know nothing about the chip. It's up to you whether you tell them or not. Your call.
That's fine. I'm in.
Sweet. Legend. Okay, send your way over to Balkis. Hang around the starport. See what happens, all right?
See ya, Shovel.
Sweet. So obviously comm ends. He blags his way onto a ship or threatens his way onto a ship or whatever he feels is necessary, probably scrimping every penny. They've got pretty good whiskey on board, so he's all right with that one. And off he sets. So all our crew are now making their way over to Balkan. They arrive on Balkan one after another. And I would assume, let me know, but I would assume Jake is probably going to set up camp in a bar.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Makes sense.
Well, that's if he can afford any more whiskey.
Yeah, I think he's probably got a little bit of a kickback, a little bit of an initial payment to start the job here. I think everyone will have a bit of cash to be able to do the things they need to do. So don't feel that there's any tie back on that. So you guys all land on your various ships or slam them into the side of the walls at breakneck speeds or whatever it is you do. The starport's quite an open layout. So while you're walking through the port, you can see this bar over towards the left of the main docking berths. And there's a very obvious guy that fits the description of Jacob there. We're going to say that Avi arrives first. And in fact, he probably turned up at the same time as Jake, but never mind. No, Avi arrives first. Joe and Leah both turn up a couple of minutes later. And Gawoni, you're going to come swanning in right at the end there. If you guys want to start having a bit of a conversation, you're all now in the bar. There's drinks going around if you're into that sort of thing. And we're basically sort of discussing the general mission here. I want you guys to start having a bit of a chat amongst yourselves.
Was I told to look for anybody? No.
Oh crap! Sorry, I probably should have told you to look for Jacob. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, look for a guy named Jacob. He's cool. He got a hat on. Nice fella.
Oh, right, the hat on.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the only person in the bar that has a hat?
No, there's a couple of other gents that have hats on as well. His is the nicest looking hat. It's the stylish looking hat. There's a chap in the corner with a bowler hat on. Looks like a bit of an idiot. And another chap in the corner wearing a stovepipe cap. He's obviously way too old to be doing any kind of work because he can barely lift his glass.
Right. I'm gonna go to the guy with the bowler hat.
Hello there. What the? You? Jesus Christ, mate.
Hello.
Oh my God, he's terrifying. Oh, Jesus. And he just jumps up, knocks his drink over and runs scarpering out of the bar, causing a bit of a ruckus on the way out. You now have the attention of most of the bar as well. They're all kind of looking at you like, what on earth is that?
I think I'm gonna step in here.
Go on then, step in.
Yeah, Jake's not particularly keen on all this attention being drawn to what could possibly be his kindergarten crush. So he's going to go up to Avi. Hey, robot. You're that Avi, aren't you?
Me? My name is Avi. Hello. Good to meet you.
Come on into this corner. Come on, get out. You're drawing attention to yourself here. Come on.
Scanning. Oh, you have a hat. Okay.
Fantastic. So the two of them wander over into the corner. Let's say Joe's the next guy into the bar. Obviously, big, massive lad, scars on the left side of his face, wanders in. You're probably going to spot the droid first of all.
Yeah, I'm not knowing anything about the droid being on the team. I'll just kind of look around, see the hats, and just say, "Hey, is anybody here, Jacob? I'm here for a job." Anybody?
Who might you be?
I'm Joe. You can call me Thump, though.
Yeah. You're on the list. Come on over.
Who's this thing? What is this thing?
Hello, my name is Avi.
What the?
Good to meet you. And he holds out like this. Oh.
He holds out like this gloved hand, but they're more like mittens on top of clamps.
What?
And he's just kind of like,
hello.
Joe will grab his hand and squeeze it very cautiously, not knowing what's going on.
I'm sorry for the discomfort.
And then he goes ahead and grips pretty hard, like probably enough to bruise. He doesn't.
Joe's gonna try and squeeze back at the same time. Just
you guys want it for a joke? Just give me a strength roll each of you, because I want to see whose squeeze is going to do well here.
Oh, okay.
You'll have a modifier on yours. I won't tell you about Myth because you're a robot.
Okay, perfect. Unknown strength, which is actually cool because sometimes it'll probably work and sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh damn, Joe, you're feeling the crush now.
It's fine.
So for those of you who don't know, it is a 2d6 system, so a 9 is pretty good.
It's fine. You can let go.
Oh,
so,
okay.
While you guys are having this arm wrestling competition, Damps and Gowoni actually both walk into the bar at the same time. You're coming from different docking berths, but you're both walking into this open-fronted bar at the same time. You can see the droid in the background. I forgot whether I actually told you about the droid or not. Guy with a hat and a big burly lad all stood over in the corner, as well as the locals all sat around drinking. A couple of them are playing cards.
Leah scans the room and sees the most likely possibility of them being the group, so she just walks up quietly and sits down a couple chairs away from them and just watches.
Okay, so this quite stunning lady wearing an interestingly high-tech sort of corporate armor with carrying a sniper rifle has just sat down a couple of chairs from you. Feel free to react.
Can I help you, miss?
So I'm here for work. Suppose you may know something about it. Jacob.
What's your name, miss?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been expecting you. Come on over.
Have we? What kind of mission is this? And Joe will look over at the sniper rifle.
Hopefully one will get to use this thing.
Okay.
We don't go looking for fights. But
Kawoni, you can hear this conversation as you're walking in as well, because I figure you might be this might be quite valuable for you to be in this conversation. You can hear this group talking about a mission and somebody being excited about using a sniper rifle. Feel free to jump in.
So, you'll use that to defend the refugees then?
Are you part of this too?
Yes.
He's on the list. I recognize that.
Would you mind telling me what kind of mission this is actually for?
You should, Jacob.
Yeah, it's clean and simple. Go in, we make sure the fine folk are all good and gravy, and then we get out and we get paid. It's simple.
Doesn't look simple.
Sounds simple enough.
Doesn't sound simple.
Doesn't help to be... it helps to be prepared.
Jake, while you guys are talking over, your personal comm device has just received a one-way transmission. All it says is your ship's ready for you on Dock D.
So it does.
Would you mind telling me your names? Well, I guess just you. You're the new one there.
Hi, I'm Avi.
I
Hello.
wasn't referring to the robot, but okay.
Oh,
I'm Gawoni. Aniwaya.
Baloney?
Gawoni.
Gawoni.
You do recognize the surname. Everyone in the verse has heard of the Anawaya tribe. They're a very large noble house. They've got literally a whole system that they own themselves. They're known to be very honorable, and they are all of Native American cultural style.
And the lovely lady here is Leah. You play nice.
Pleasure.
Well met.
hi. I'm Avi.
Hello, friend.
Hello, friend. Hello, Miss.
So, did we all receive this message?
No, just Jacob.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay, we've got time for one. Ship's ready, so you don't want to dawdle too long.
No, thank
He
you.
stands
I
up
don't
and makes her way out.
Yeah, what would Avi do in a bar? I'm trying to work out. Would you just sit there, sort of like, your chef's terrible?
And just like ting, 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 as he like has his fingers touch.
Ting, 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 ting.
Love it.
Man, that thing is mighty disconcerting.
I feel like
It's like a boy with a brick on his head.
I feel like Avi and
Oh,
Gawoni would have like the same kind of. We're in a bar. What the hell do we do now?
Yeah, polar opposites, but also having the kind of the same sort of like at that moment being like,
Yeah, how do we pass time in these social scenarios?
Should we go to the
Both
ship?
Joe comes back with a beer and just kind of, or whatever space beer there is, and just like kind of slams it back. Like, okay, let's go.
We all ready?
So if you guys don't have any further business you want to attend to on the planet, you've got all your basic equipment. There's no worries about having to buy supplies or anything. You've already got, ammo for sniper rifles or pistols or whatever you guys are carrying. There's been an indication that you'll be well catered for, so you don't need to sort of buy medical supplies and that sort of thing. Obviously, Gawoni, you actually carry your own anyway, So you all make your way over towards the docking berth D, and as you come in, those of us on Roll20 can have a quick reminder of how beautiful the Katamaru is. You walk in, you see this beautiful high-tech luxury yacht. It's a Clipper-class ship, and it's got very prominently displayed on the side the Katamaru. Immediately, Joe, you recognize that it was built by Shinwa Hige, a company you worked for quite a while. This is not a cheap ship. They have not held back on the money here, which might raise a few eyebrows, bearing in mind the nature of the work. You make your way towards the docking entrance on the bottom floor there, on the third deck, and enter through the cargo bay, make your way to the aft of the ship, and either using the the elevator or stairs, you make your way up into the second floor, which is where the majority of the second deck, which is where the majority of the action is going to take place there. Jacob, I think it's probably prudent that you just sort of bring everyone to the common area at the front of the ship just for a quick, stock check, make sure everyone's in the same line for the mission parameters.
Yeah, I think as he's walking up to the ship, he's going to give a little introduction. And
Yeah.
So I introduce you to the Katamaru, mighty fine ship. You make yourself welcome, and we've got to look after her. And let me show you through. Yeah, we go through the cargo bay, and we'll go through to the rec room at the front, and we'll lay down some rules.
Cool. So this is a really nice plush rec room. There's some plants in the corners of the room. There's beautiful Celtic rug laid out, sofas all over the place. On your way through, Avi, you've noticed the galley door was open. There's the room G on roll 20, and it is fully stocked. You'll be able to make as many souffles as you want. You also, maybe on the way through, Leah, you took a slight detour with Gawoni, walking around the starboard side of the ship. You have seen the very well catered for med bay, which is labeled as N. And more importantly for Leah, there's the armory, which is labeled as I. And you might want to pop your sniper rifle in there because you're common enough to know that, you're wise enough to know that a sniper rifle on board a ship with a pressurized hull is probably a terrible idea. There are a few stun rifles in there that you can pick up if you want to carry a rifle around. But you're not expecting any combat on the ship as far as you're aware. You guys all meet up in the common area at the front of the ship. Actually, I've just thought, Joe probably would have made a beeline for the drives, right?
Yeah, for sure. I would have checked out the engine room right away.
Cool. So, oh crap, have we got any? I think people are on the wrong page. Architect, if you could deal with the message in Discord, that'd be great. Thank you. So you go to the rear of the ship, through the power plant room, labeled as O, and into the M drive room. Sorry, that's the jump drive. I apologize. The M drives are on the bottom floor. Access through the corridors U. They're going to be more challenging to access on board. However, the jump drive system has elements of the M drive in it as well. You're going to be quite impressed. It's not the same as your kiddie drive, but it is a beautiful piece of work. This is obviously going to be a very fast ship, and they've not cut any corners on it.
Hot damn!
Brilliant. Cool. Anyway, Jacob calls you all to the front of the ship, wherever you've been sort of poking around and having a look around. I think, Leah, you probably would have popped up to the bridge, have a look at the flight controls and be like, yeah, I can fly this thing. And then you all head back to the front of the ship on the second deck in the room labeled F, where we were going to sit down and just get through some of the sort of parameters and rules on board the ship. I've given Jacob so much to do, Architect so much to do here, sorry.
Looks great. I'm just scrolling through this, and it's awesome.
All Architect's work.
Just trying to get Raven on the page.
You would say he's the architect?
I see what you did there, yeah.
You see that?
So in fact, actually left on the table, there's a little compad with a list of house rules for on board the Katamaru. I'm just going to read them out as if each of your characters have seen them. Each role shall be used by the most relevant party. We do not want unqualified people tampering with drives. We do not want people who cannot fly piloting this beautiful ship.
Oh, sweet.
Second rule is going to be help yourself to any of the supplies on board. They are here for your leisure, for your usage. You will find that there is a full stock of ammunition in the armory. The med bay has been fully stocked for you, Gawoni. You should find everything to your liking in the bridge, Leah, and hopefully that engine should keep you entertained for a little while, Joe. Avi, the kitchen is located right behind you, but there's also an astrometric suite on the top deck that we would like you to make use of because nobody else here knows how to fly around space.
All right. So I am kind of cruising through the ship as you explained. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I've got the top deck here. Just a quick rundown. The top deck. What is E? E is the astromech suite. Okay, got it. All right. Cool. It's a 3-deck ship, it seems.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Wow. And there's 5 of us to run this whole thing, pretty much. Are we gonna get?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. It's got some good cargo. Awesome.
I mean, Joe, you're probably familiar with this class of ship. The Clippers are long-distance, high-speed yachts. There are a couple of turrets. One's actually just above the bridge. We forgot to add access to it because we only decided upon it really recently. And there's one on the chin of the lower deck. just as a quick rules thing, because we didn't put anyone with gunnery, if you have heavy weapon skill, you'll be able to man turrets absolutely fine.
Okay.
Cool. So comm comes through to the main vid screen in the common area, which is, I think, where you guys are all at the moment. Just saying that the mission is ready to go. You have 3 days to complete it. Estimated time of journey will be 1 day.
All right, I'm moving people over to the common area.
I was just trying to grab myself and I moved.
Get wrecked. Okay, so what was that? What was that thing that happened on the comms? I'm sorry.
So comm screen just lit up. Just it's obviously been detecting that you're getting used to the ship and stuff, and it's just popped up with the information that you have 3 days to complete the mission. The refugees are ready to be collected, and it will take about a day's travel to get there at warp.
Okay. All right. Avi.
Should I go plot out a course?
You could do that. If you could do that, you go ahead.
Okay, will do. I will go plot a course, and then we can make our way over to Balkis.
And he kind of trots off, making his way over towards the astronavigation suite.
Beautiful.
So, Saul, it's just a question for you. How does communication work in the ship? Like, is there, like...
Okay, yeah, good question to ask. Yeah, basically, there is a low-level AI actually running on the ship there that you guys can talk to, and it also gives me a voice, and I've just decided that's the case.
Excuse you?
Not you. No. A much lower-level AI. Who will be known as Igor. And basically, if you ever want to communicate to anyone else around the ship, you simply say, Igor, I need to speak to whoever, and he'll sort of patch you through in a localized audio burst from room to room. It's instantaneous.
Sweet.
Okay, Joe's going to let everyone know that he'll be in the engine room if anyone needs him. And just kind of, he's going to start like feeling out the engine, getting a sense of how this one runs, and tinkering as much as he can with known problems in these type of engines.
Very nice, very nice.
You let us know when it's ready.
I won't. You get started. I'll kind of just let you know if something's breaking.
Sweet. So we probably need a pilot in the bridge. Hint, Leah.
She'll be stuck in there for quite some time.
Wonderful. So Leah heads up to the bridge. Pilot seat, by the way, is the right hand of the forward 2 seats. I know it's a bit like a Star Trek bridge, but those rear 2 seats are just for having comfort and access to information. The important ones are the front 2. Gawoni? You're muted, bro.
Basically, I'll be in the med bay, just kind of getting used to where everything is. So he doesn't have to think when he's in there.
I like that. Setting up the incense in the corners, because it will be a very clinical med bay.
Yeah.
It's your style of healing.
I was just about to say that.
I love it.
That's nice, yeah. Also, it's worth me telling you as well, sorry, just that you'd have picked up on this. In the rear of the galley, if you'd see the galley at G, at the back of it is a food storage room. You probably would have found there would have been some plants and such in there that would have been of use to you. And I would have sure Avi will let you take them if he's not cooking basil pesto tonight.
Well, I guess I'll have to rework my schedule.
Fantastic. Jacob, where are you going to go?
Jacob's going to head down to the shuttle in the center of the ship and check it out and check all the couplings and it's flight ready and all the equipment on there is ready to go. Just trying to make it visible in there.
Oh, yeah, because the shuttle's hiding underneath the letter J, isn't it? Yeah. What are you doing to our ship?
Just breaking it. I don't know where the shuttle's gone.
Okay, no worries. There's a quick outline of what the shuttle looks like when it's fully deployed just above the map there. In fact, I will very briefly just drag you guys over here to show you the shuttle layout. The shuttle has a sort of collapsing wing system that allows it to dock with the very top of the ship, and it snuggles into the top of the Katamaru, allowing a seal contact so that you can move in and out of the shuttle whilst it's on board. It's a reasonably sized shuttle, actually. That's quite a big craft. It's got enough room for you to be able to put all the refugees in, for example, and each have a personal seat in the front. There are little jump seats that fold down at the back, so they don't have to just stand around hoping nothing bad happens to the shuttle. Anyway, I'll bring you guys back to the cap. So I think everything's ready to go here. If Jacob, because he's generally in charge, has no missions, I would imagine Leah's kind of keen to get going and suggesting they're ready to jump at any notice.
Yeah, I'll do just a round checking all the crew one by one. Make my way up past astrometrics, make sure we've got the correct course plotted in.
Yeah, Avi's nailed it, no problem at all. That's a common check. I don't need him to roll a die for that. He knows where he's going.
Here.
And then he just sends a bunch of data at you.
There.
Yeah. Just the string of numbers just appears on one of your comm devices, means nothing to you.
Cool. Then Jake is going to go and take a seat up in the bridge, and is send an open invitation. If anyone wants to come and join us on the bridge, get some nice views, then feel welcome.
Nope.
You've got the nicest view in the house as far as you're concerned. Yeah, there's a couple of things to note. That the bridge obviously has a beautiful open window system at the top of it, at the very top of the ship. But as is on the photograph that we've got on the left of the ship there, the forward section of the observation room, the lounge, as it were, labeled as F on the second deck, is all a giant window. I mean, it's 15, 20 feet tall. It's a beautiful place to watch the stars whip by while you're in warp. So.
Awesome.
So with that, I would imagine Jacob would give the command. I say command, he's loosely in charge here. Leah's probably already punched the button to get going because she wants to be, this is too slow, come on, let's go, people. And the ship does this really interesting sort of almost like Star Citizen, actually, where space in front of it seems to get closer and closer, and then suddenly, boom, and you've got the starfield whipping past just as per Mythematic's beautiful background. And we're off. We have a day's journey, so if you guys want to just have a quick mull over what you'd be doing that day, I realize we have done a lot of prep here, so I don't want to bog us down too much, but if there's anything particularly different to what you're doing, or maybe you want to let us know what's being served for dinner, or, looking for the whiskey or that sort of thing.
Also to note, in Traveler, if this is still a rule, I think it is, you can spend time leveling up a skill during downtime. I don't know what the case is, but I do know that was a thing. I don't know what it is you could do. So I guess if you wanted to level up some sort of skill, or how many weeks or whatever training it was, I don't know if because this is a bit of a house ruled Traveler. I don't know if that's what that is or how long it would take to level up a skill. But if you were ever thinking of what to do during the downtime, players, that would be a good way to take a look.
Spot on. I've just been told by my trusty assistant that we're looking at a day to level up a skill. Normally these jumps would take a lot longer. However, we're using a different FTL system to what Traveler establishes as normal. We're going to be using an Alcubierre drive for any of you sci-fi fans out there. And yeah, right. It's a spatial compression drive. Basically, it means that you can see space whipping past instead of being popped into a different dimension for a week or so and then pops out randomly somewhere else.
Yeah, clearly.
But as you're going, you do have enough time that if you want to, and you believe there are relevant facilities on board, I will let you take a skill check to level up any one of your skills. We'll start with Gawoni, because he's the first camera I've got. Is there anything you would like to be perfecting during your downtime?
Probably just his medicine, but actually what I want him to do would just basically be having the crew cycle in and do a med check on everybody and kind of get documentation for everybody.
Good call.
Yep. Basically, you find a list of sundry of freaking injuries on everybody. Everybody's had something horrifying happen to him. Joe's leg is mangled. He's built some sort of brace system for it. If you guys want to roleplay out the fact that Gawoni, you could fix that if you wanted to.
What is it? Fix what?
He's got a mangled leg. He's obviously got extensive scarring on the left side of his face. I've just realized that would be a very large task for you to deal with. But the mangled leg, you reckon you could sort out in a couple of hours because of the re-imaging systems on this ship and the fact that you've got access to all of your herbs and your med kit with you. So let's say, halfway through the first day, you bring him in for his check. Joe, you're probably a bit reluctant to have this done.
Yeah.
But he's kind of forceful, so... yeah, nice. So if you guys just want to have a quick conversation about this, how are you going to deal with it? Although I've just
Do we have to do this?
I mean, if you want, I could make it optimal.
What do you mean, optimal?
Like, that's not good quality work.
You talking about my leg?
The work done to your leg.
I did this myself, okay? I think I did a pretty great job. What are you gonna do? Fix my leg? Make it all better? I don't think so. Half my kneecap's gone.
Oh.
Yeah, Abby's looking around in the background.
Let's see what I can do.
How did the robot get in here?
I'm waiting for my checkup.
Are you going to let him perform medical surgery on your leg?
What do you mean surgery? Like,
Sorry, not surgery. He's using this interesting device he's pulled out of the backpack. It's sort of a glove he's wearing. There's smoke coming off it. It's very weird and wonderful. It is way out of your comfortability zone of engineering. He's sort of moving it around the leg, and you can feel that actually it does feel a little nicer when he's doing it. There's less of the sort of twinging pain you're used to.
I think in Joe's mind, the twinging pain is like necessary.
I agree.
It kind of helps him focus and reminds him of things, so he's gonna be, no, that's fine. You can, if I've got some kind of weird space disease that you need to remove, feel free, but my leg works fine. I got a bit
Joe
of
storms out.
Yeah, and by storm out, Joe has a very loud limp. So every time his leg comes down, he makes a thump sound, being a large man, so hence his nickname. He'll also yell to the robot, like, you want me to check him out too, doctor?
Please.
Okay,
That would be good, because just to make sure everyone's on par.
Abby, you come to the engine room, okay? That's where my tools are.
Okay.
So upon looking over Avi's chassis, he has actually been put back together at some point. He was probably torn apart. He's got a new arm that's made out of probably the cheapest materials you've ever seen in anything. It seems to be doing the job all right. Similarly, his leg has been replaced with what you think is quite inspiring work for the materials available, but it's obviously been jury-rigged to keep him together. And he's got this sort of plates of sheet metal strapped over what would have been his original casing. You can see evidence that his original casing was this gleaming white sort of high quality polymer, but instead he's got these almost rusted lamps of iron stamped on and riveted onto his body.
Who's the one that rerouted the power to your Schwarzschild casing?
That would be my friend Abraham.
Adrian.
Oh, did you malfunction there?
Affirmative, I did. With all these new names and new faces, I'm getting my vocal calibrators and, of course, the desync drivers of what I'm trying to say versus my auditory and my Adrian. Sorry.
Let me just look. I think maybe I can optimize that asymmetrical deflector on your nanotech. Hold on.
Thank you. Ooh. Oh.
And Joe will start trying to fix him a little bit there. Do I
Sure,
need to
thank
roll
you.
for that?
No, this is just going to be
Okay.
general maintenance stuff. You're not trying
Okay.
you're not trying a full rebuild or anything. You
Okay.
know?
Can I work on Avi a little bit over use that as my
Sure.
developing skill.
Yeah, in fact, if you want to give me an intellect roll, please. Oh, speaking of which, Myth, if anyone does purchase any of the modifiers, can you let me... My awareness of chat is terrible. So.
Yeah,
Thank you. Sweet, yeah. So feel free to give yourself Electronics 0. You've got a basic understanding of the electronic circuits that Abby's been using and such. Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do that without him because you've been doing that on the drive. It would have just helped your engineering skills.
Right. Yeah. Joe's actually gonna, over the course of time, try and take Avi into the engine room as much as he can, because it's rather fascinating seeing this mechanical thing that he's never come across before.
I like that. Sweet. So maybe we'll have a brief conversation between the two people who are still in the bridge, because obviously, Leah, you've had to be flying the ship. Nobody else has volunteered to give you a hand, even though there are a couple of qualified pilots here. And Jacob, you've been keeping an eye on what's going on. So you guys are sat in the bridge. You're just waiting for time to pass by. A little bit of a conversation, maybe about your histories.
How you finding the ship, Leah?
Oh, I like it. Looking quite well. It'd be nice to fly her.
So, you've flown ships like this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Flown
You've flown
many
ships, yeah.
I hadn't seen a ship like this. Well, not this close. It's quite a sight.
So you're our babysitter.
No, I wouldn't put it that way.
That's what I'm gonna call you.
I'm just here to babysit the ship.
Right.
Beautiful. So you guys, we'll say a day has passed by. Avi's cooked you a stunning meal of... What did you cook?
Mac and cheese.
Oh, his famous 4-cheese mac and cheese, or 452 micro cheese mac and cheese. It's known across the galaxy. This is a very good quality meal here.
How did you know?
Probably most of you, Gawoni, you would have eaten as well before, but most of the other guys, you wouldn't have eaten like food of this well-prepared quality before. He is an excellent chef. So yeah, I will attribute you guys some points for the stuff you were doing in the downtime there. I just want to keep the plot moving, so I'll give it to you at the end of the episode, if that's all right. So we come out of warp with a thump, and the stars all come back to normal again. I should have let you do all the sound effects. And you find yourself in orbit of a very dusty-looking planet. Even from space, it looks like it's putting off dust. There's very few bodies of water on it. None of you have been to Balkas before. This is going to be the first time any of you have been there. Anyone who may have looked it up on the way through, on the way over, it's known as an agricultural planet. It's a lot of plains and sort of, it's got this sort of Wild West vibe to it. There are reports of pirate activity on the planet. And it also seems to be a hotspot for violent actions between pirates, mercenary units. Even some corporations have fought on this planet before. The Alliance officially has control of it in the records, but there's very little Alliance presence. There are no system patrol ships coming at you. You can barely see any satellites in orbit, just the tail end of the IS relay system, which has just made its way out here. As a result, you then start to pop the ship into orbit, Leah. She can descend to the planet's surface, but it's not recommended. And you guys are probably mustered by Jacob to come and make your way over to the shuttle, which he's now managed to make visible as J on the thing. Is there anything you guys want to do before you start this mission? Anything you want to do before you disembark? The ship can look after itself. Igor is informing you that is accurate. Sorry, I'm using Myth's voice. Damn it, I'll come up with a new one for next week.
Jake's going to disappear off, nowhere to be seen, and he's going to go and check his comms device to see if any messages have been left at this planet for him to receive on his arrival.
The only message is a comm wave it's just from an anonymous source saying that the refugees can be found in the starport at the capital city.
Okay.
So we
Anyone else?
are here. My mission was to go to Balkas, and I'm here. What are we doing?
We're here for refugees.
Oh, Okay. Refugees. We are helping people.
Yes.
Did they bring me so I can feed them?
Maybe.
Very well. But might I let you all know that though I am quite the chef, I was actually built and programmed to actually survey the land. It is my duty to see what there is and to record and see what the world has to offer. And when I say world, I've been hanging out with you humans too long. When I say world, I mean the cosmos, what it has to offer and what it will give mankind.
In fact, Myth, can you give it? Sorry, Avi, can you give me an astragations check, please?
Yes, I can. That can be a thing. I just gotta figure out which window. There we go.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You wanted an astrogation?
Yes, astrogation specifically, yeah.
Astro. Is this how I roll? Education or intellect?
I would like you to use education, please. Nice. Oh, wow. That was close. You nearly didn't pass that. So while you're sort of looking at the planet, the name has seemed familiar, and you've been running a little algorithm to search through your database of planets that the Alliance have catalogued. And you are familiar that Volkis has been catalogued in the past. You pick up on the brief review from the survey team that was initially deployed that you weren't a part of. Unfortunately, this was long before you were built. That there is an innate sense of rebelliousness in the people here. And although the Alliance have installed a governor, they really don't give a crap about this planet, to put it bluntly. They've kind of left it to its own devices. There have been reports by recent survey, I say recent in the last 10 years, survey ships that have flown by, that some of the major agricultural companies have put sort of vested interests into the planet's ecosystem and so on and so forth. And that there's been a few fights as a result of it. And, you know, it might not be the safest place to go down to without, you know, some sort of protection. Even the Alliance Marine teams are a bit reluctant to go anywhere near it.
Okay. So, I guess this is just like through a quick, like, just memory.
Yeah, like accessing your archives, you know what I mean? You've still got a lot of data left over from your Alliance days. You are aware that this data is 8 years old, though, so, you know, it might have changed since.
Sure. I will bring that up to everybody. I'll walk away to, like, go have a think, I guess. And then I come back, like, in a bit of a shuffle. And
I was just recalling some of the archive data of over 8 years ago, and I was started to realize and come to the conclusion or theory, depending, if we should actually go down there armed. From what I understand, the Alliance left this place in a bit of a well, mischievous state. So I was wondering if maybe we should go ahead and arm ourselves and maybe bring some protection, unless my data is out of date.
Yeah, we've got protection with us. I'm carrying a gun. I think Joe, he's carrying a gun. We've got
The spirit.
We got the spirits to protect us. I don't go in for that kind of stuff.
What will alcohol help us with? That will only impede our judgment, and also, ours, I mean yours. And also, it will probably just clean a lot of my servos.
Oh, Robot, if only you knew.
Like ancestors.
Please tell me. I would like to know. It is my job to know.
Oh, wow, that's a whole bucket of worms you just opened there, Myth.
Kind of spirits.
What?
Like ancestors. Those kind of spirits.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the belief that the possible heritage of your family could actually be helping and having any sort of impact on your destiny and or fate.
Right.
Interesting. Very well. I wonder if my programmers are helping me to this day. That's something I should think about.
That's so adorable.
Perhaps.
Leah, obviously, on hearing this, I would imagine you make a beeline to the armory to pick up your beautiful, beautiful
We're
rifle.
bringing guns. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Was this like a crew meeting where this is?
Let's say on your way through to the shuttle, we've arrived at the thing. You put it into please put it into stable orbit. You guys are just sort of hanging around in the lounge area on the second deck.
Just to explain about the shuttle.
Go ahead.
We've got two choices here. We can take the ship down. We can land it on the planet. The problem there is it's going to take some work to get it all up and certified to be spaceborne again, and it used a lot of fuel to get back into the sky. So what we can do is we can use the shuttle. We take that down. We can do our business, and we can use the shuttle and come back in on the ship and keep it in orbit, and that keeps it safe. This is not the safest planet, so I recommend that's what we do.
So I'll see you guys when you get back.
Wait, so you are telling... Okay, so your plan is to take a shuttle down and use less fuel and less energy from the banks of the ship, when we could just rather go interplanetary with the ship and then also leave, but that would be too much. So I think a shuttle makes the most sense and most efficient way.
Leah, you're probably itching to fly this shuttle too. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyone gonna try and persuade Joe to come with him?
I
will.
To, but I don't need it. Yeah, okay.
You get that incense?
Joe, we're gonna need you down there. I know we know you can handle yourself, and you were brought on this mission for your varied skills. So I would appreciate it if you came with us.
Plus, I can't be Avi's medic.
Oh, I see how this is. I'm along to babysit the robot.
Oh.
That's not nice.
Well, I mean,
You're
to
a
be
medic,
honest,
just
I
like I'm a medic.
wouldn't mind doing that.
I will have you know I am 24 Earth years old.
See?
I am
Okay.
not a baby. You would not be babysitting me.
Okay, you want me to follow him around and fix him if he breaks? Is that better, Avi?
I want you to watch my back, Joe.
Oh god, I totally forgot something. You guys actually do recognize each other. Maybe it's taken you this long to realize it because you both
Wait
got
a
extensive facial scarring and stuff. But you have a brief recollection of boxing with each other in the Marines in the amateur boxing competitions that were held on the flight deck.
Wait, I remember you.
Yeah, you beat the crap out of him, Joe.
Were you the guy that you were? Oh, I can't believe how you were trying to punch me. The boxing ring. You remember that?
Plenty of people have beat the crap out of me in the boxing ring.
It was on the UFV Vindication.
In the Marines, you remember?
Wait a minute, Joe. You're that Joe.
Yeah, I'm the one Joe that's like a big, massive man. That I don't know. I don't think there's too many people like me, so I thought it'd be more recognizable. I recognized you.
I nearly had you. Your technique was atrocious, but when you hit, man.
Yeah, well, thanks, I guess. Well, if you want, for the sake of time in the Marines, I guess I can come down.
Cool. Leah's prepped the ship and is ready to go now. It did need a bit of sort of getting everything up and warmed up and so on and so forth. And Igor has confirmed that over the intercom system that the shuttle is now ready for departure.
The shuttle is now ready for departure.
That is what I said.
We just heard Igor say that.
I know that. I just wanted to make sure everyone else knew that.
I appreciate your confirmation, Abby. So everyone makes their way to the shuttle. I'm going to have to pull you guys along a bit, sorry. Cool. You all come in through the rear entrance. It's a bit more of a casual entrance. It means you don't have to faff around with the airlock as well, which only lets one person through at a time. You make your way towards the 6 jump seats there. Who's going to sit in the front with Leah?
Let me switch over the map so I know what we're looking at here.
Sure thing. In fact,
Jake takes a seat right at the back.
On this one.
I'll get up front.
Cool. Yep. Nice. Gordy's probably keen to see what this planet looks like. He's, one of those people who likes to view nature in all its beauty, or in this case, dusty, barren wasteland nonsense with a few farms everywhere. Cool. With a lovely, soothing noise that Myth can probably make, the shuttle slowly lifts out of the top of the ship, and the wings start to deploy outward at the rear. The side engines rotate to the left. And I've dragged the party members onto the Kodomo deck plan page, Myth. If you want to join us over there, we've got a couple of photos of the shuttle, if anyone in chat wants to see. It's called the Kodomo deck plans. It's in the pages at the top.
Oh, the pages. Got it.
Yes. So the shuttle then breaks away from the main ship. Leah is a very talented pilot. She's not having any problems with this, and doesn't require any rolling for it. This is stuff she's done in her sleep before. It starts to bring it down towards the planet.
Where is it? Hold on, I don't think I have it.
Sorry, yeah, it's called Kodomo Deck Plans. It's just to the left of the Katamaru Deck Plans page.
These are pages that I don't have.
Oh.
What pages?
I should have dragged the players
in
over
the journal.
To it, but my understanding. No, sorry, at the very, very top. You know the page. They're called pages. I can't.
Oh, I can't move. You move us.
I have moved you, but you haven't moved on the stream.
Oh, what? I can't believe I. Wow, that's weird.
You're a GM, so you should be able to move.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, silly.
Okay, awesome.
Cool. So this beautiful high-tech again Shinwahige at its best shuttle. There's a photo just over to the left if you want to see it. Starts to break through the atmosphere. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride on the way in, but there is not a cloud in the sky, so you don't have any problems bringing it down. As you're on your way in, comm signal comes through. Dockmaster's on the other end of the line. Hey there, this is Dockmaster Johnson. Please report your ship designation and intended mission. Who's in charge of comms? Your choice.
This
Avi.
Yeah, I vote Avi.
Yeah.
Okay, I have comms, so that's fine.
Oh, that works. Yep.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Avi. I am on the name of ship.
Kodomo.
Oh, there it is.
I am aboard the Kodomo.
Oh, roger that, Kodomo. What is your mission?
We are here to
Aid refugees.
aid refugees.
A refugee aid mission. Hang on, let me just have a quick look through the notes here, and you can hear him literally rustling paper. Oh yeah. We expecting you. You from your parent ship called the Katamaru?
Yes, the Katamaru.
Ah, yeah, you got clearance to land docking pad C. Bring her on down, boys. Dockmaster out, and he just hangs up.
Oh, bring her on down.
Alrighty.
Cool, so Leah brings her into a rather graceful landing. It's a very large docking platform. It's obviously designed for larger ships, so you don't have any problem with that. Again, I'm not going to force you to roll anything for stuff that hasn't got risk or threat involved, you know. She settles down with a cloud of smoke, dust all over the place. It's billowing around the insides of the starport. And the back door sort of cranks down and slams in, again, generating this ton of dust, which whips into the back of the cargo bay. Anyone who happens to be in the back is probably going to have a bit of a coughing fit, unless they don't have lungs.
Oh.
Fantastic. Cool. So you make your way out of the docking bay, and obviously, Jacob, you were told where we're going.
Yeah, we're going to make our way to...
D, I believe it was. You've landed
D.
at C.
Yeah.
You need to make your way to D. Yeah.
This is a dusty planet, right?
Oh, very dusty planet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fair point.
Okay. Good to know.
I think I know where you're going with that, and yes, it might have an effect. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, that was totally what I wanted to talk about.
Well, you talked yourself into that one, son.
I did. Okay.
No noticeable effect yet. Cool. So you guys walk through the planet. It is clear. So through the starport, it is clearly a really impoverished area. You know, the people walking around don't have clothing that's of one piece. It's all stitched together. Their boots have got holes in them. They all look like they've worked non-stop for the last 20 years of their lives and have aged rapidly in the process. There are even children running, bits of cargo to and from various ships. It seems quite a busy port. There are ships constantly leaving and arriving. Most of them have the markings of the agricultural corporations like Asmea and Boscus. A couple of you might recognize those names. There's a general sense of hubbub going on there, but there's no real high techness to this planet. There is a comm station in each room, but there's none of the sort of neon sort of garishness that you've come from on the planets you've just left. There's a major step back in technology, shall we say. So as you're walking over towards the docking platform, if you guys want to have a chat about anything, prepare anything, now's a good time.
What all was available in the armory for weapons and stuff?
Yeah, sure. So there were mainly stun weapons on board for onboard usage. You recognize them from Marine days. They're non-breaching pistols and so on and so forth. Obviously, you've got your service sidearm with you, but there was going to be one shotgun there as well. Relatively sort of medium tech shotgun, which we have no stats for whatsoever. So hopefully Architect is panically going, "Oh God, he just said shotgun." If you wanted to take it, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you would have brought that down with you. Yeah, that's no problem at all. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a problem with carrying weapons out in the open here. There's a few people who are walking around, and maybe they're sheriffs or the equivalent thereof, who very proudly got their revolvers, sort of, with their big dusters flapped around the revolvers and stuff. A few guys with shotguns on the back, a couple of hunting rifles visible, but mainly the folks look like they're too poor to afford weaponry, rather than they just don't have any. Any other business you guys want to attend to on the way over?
Should have known the Boscus would be involved in this somehow.
Yes, you got history with the Boscus. I forgot about that.
Is there a medical facility here?
No, 100% not. No,
I didn't think so.
So you may find yourself stopping and being like, "Let me help you out with that," on the way over, and getting dragged by the rest of the crew to keep up. Leah, also for your benefit, there are very few computers around. It's not like you're going to be able to use your computer skills to solve any problems on this planet. It's far too low tech for that nonsense. Yeah, you've got a couple of ships have caught your eye, and same for you, Joey. You'd have spotted a couple of ships that you were like, "Oh, that's an interesting cargo vessel. I haven't seen one of them in 20 years." Sorry, what was that, Kawani?
I was saying, is there a political leader nearby, or?
The only people you can see who seem like they're in charge of these sheriffs, you can approach one if you want.
Yeah.
Hey there, partner, what's up?
We just landed here. We're here to help the refugees.
Refugees. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Way above my pay grade to give a damn about them folks. Yeah, there was some heavy fighting over on the plains out beyond Frankie's Field, and I reckon them boys. I don't know all the refugees from this planet. I don't really know. I don't really care. Look, you got something you want to say? Come on, what you got?
We just need to get situated since we're here and find our way to the refugees.
All right, now, I don't know where they are. You maybe go ask the dockmaster. He might have some clue. He's in the office over there. He sort of points across the starport to this sort of office that is just brimming with filing cabinets and a man wearing sort of a little poker visor and thick glasses who clearly has far too much work and not enough people helping him out. Apart from that, I mean, you be careful with them guns there. I see she's carrying a hell of a rifle. That guy's got a shotgun, and I don't know what the hell that thing is, pointing at Avi. In fact, quite a few people have stopped and stared at him as he walked past. This is by far the most advanced technology they've seen on the planet. You just want to be careful with that. I reckon pirates going to have their eye on that, it speaks. Jesus.
Him?
Him? Oh, it's a he? How'd you know? You look between his legs? And his buddies will whack him in the, there's some friendly punches and stuff. That's real funny, Sheriff. That's real funny.
They can try to take him if they want to. I can't guarantee their success.
Oh, you threatening us, girl? You understand? We're the law here. We the law. We the ones who sit down. Okay. Well, we don't want no hassle here. There's a lot of innocent folk around and such. We got business to attend to anyway, don't we? Yeah, we got that thing, boss, over at the place. Yeah, that's right, the thing at the place. Yeah, we best go. And they make their beeline straight for the nearest bar.
Awesome.
Okay.
Gawoni, did you want to have a word with the Dockmaster?
Sure.
Oh, hey there, boys. How's it going? Oh, hang on a minute. Is that the thing what was talking to me over the radio? He's pointing at Avi.
Hello.
Yeah, that's the thing. You fascinating, buddy. I ain't heard you got some kind of robot android thing?
Affirmative. What gave that away?
The fact that your neck's like 3.5 feet tall and your arms are really stumpy and you made out of metal. But apart from that, hey, I got a question for you.
I'm sorry, my humor drivers must have crashed.
I wasn't trying to make no joke. Anyway, hey, you looking for work? I could do with somebody to get this place in order, and I reckon you'd be real good at like computizing all of my paperwork and such. Is that something you might be able to help me with, maybe? I couldn't pay you nothing.
You could not pay me nothing. Well, that does sound like I could possibly get some sort of payment out of this.
Are you trying to use trickery on me? I'm confused. No, I ain't got no money. I know, like, you just do it out the...
Affirmative. You ain't got no money.
Yeah, that's right.
Affirmative. Well, how much do you have?
Nothing. What's confused? Oh, God. Oh, hang on a minute. And there's a comm call coming through. He whacks back on this giant retro headset with a massive boom mic on it. Hey, this is Dockmaster. This is a Damien ship designation. He hasn't taken his eyes off you, though. Ship designation and mission, please. It's obviously his indication that he's got nothing else he can do with Avi there.
Can I follow Avi into the Dockmaster's office and just sneak around and see if there's any maps or charts around showing which direction we ought to be going to get to docking area D?
C, but yeah, D, no,
C,
you're right, yep.
D,
no,
yeah.
D, you're quite right, yeah, not a problem at all. He's far too distracted with Avi to really notice anybody else in the room. I mean, he briefly acknowledged Gawoni coming in, but didn't really give you a chance to say anything, I'm afraid, buddy, sorry. Yeah, you find a little sort of layout. It's basically about 150 meters round the corner, which is why you haven't seen any indication towards it, behind the bar that the sheriffs went into. Do you guys want to carry on?
We're going to what plains? Something fields?
What did he say? He said plain.
Oh yeah, sorry. When the sheriff was talking, he said that's where the fighting was.
That's where the fighting was. And we got to find refugees, but they don't really give a shit about the refugees.
So it seems as if we must track down the refugees. Maybe if we go towards the fighting, we can find out where, and maybe looking upon the arid condition of the climate of this planet, it seems as if dust is a definite thing here. So the dust will actually, funny thing about dust is it gets everywhere. But also, if you stand upon it or walk, it'll make prints. We can follow these prints and maybe even follow where these refugees are.
Makes sense.
I'm
we
not
can
so bad.
track.
What do you think, Captain?
He's obviously looking at you, Jacob.
I've lost all my pages. Oh, sorry. Trying to do too much stuff at once.
Do you think we should follow or try and look for some tracks?
If we've got the skills to track down, then yeah, sure.
I think we do. I think it would be rather hard to not have the skills to look for footprints.
While you guys were talking, by the way, Rovin let's say he's wearing a cloak for the benefit of why this wasn't apparent earlier, pulls back the side of his cloak, and this beautiful large raven, Gawoni, pulls back the side of his cloak, this beautiful large raven who's obviously had cybernetic augmentation performed on it, has been resting on a perch on his belt, launches up and dives up through the open roof of the starport into the sky.
What the frack is that?
Oh.
A bird.
You've been holding a bird under your cloak this whole time?
That's my fault, sorry.
I mean, he just kind of sits there.
Okay.
Just my spirit guide.
Well, it just spirit went.
He's looking around.
Oh, well then we can use those eyes.
And he'll just pull the one eye visor down over the eye.
Oh,
Cool.
that's
So
awesome. That's so cool.
pulls down a visor and sort of looks like he's sort of focusing on that and almost in a trance-like status while he's doing it. Obviously, you guys are going to have to sort of wait a couple of seconds while he works out what's going on.
That's really cool.
In fact, Gwen, if you could give me a survival check, please. Survival, for the sake of the audience who aren't sure, is not just, being able to survive, but it's also wilderness knowledge, being able to pick up tracking, that sort of thing.
Which ability input?
Survival, and I'd like it to be intellect, please. Oh, yeah, no problem at all. Nice roll. So yeah, after a couple of minutes of Kolanu flying around, soaring, you can feel, because of your link with him, you can feel the joy he's got finally having to let his wings free again. He's been cooped up on the ship for a day or two. He's a bit pissed off at you, if he's honest, when he talks to you. But he circles around a bit, and you can actually see an extensive, bearing in mind that you overheard the conversation that the Franks fields were off to the west. You started looking over that direction. You can see real disturbance of the dust, as if a large amount of people have moved on foot, because most of the transport around here is going to be in little skimmers or in tracked vehicles or whatever. You can see a large amount of people have moved on foot to an area that is probably one of the outside docking bays of the starport. And as Kalanu turns around to have a look, you can see, yes, indeed, there is an outside docking bay, and there are a large group of people stood out there, maybe 15 odd people stood around. In fact, if you could also give me a recon check. Yeah. Also intellect, please.
Do I even have that?
If you don't, then just give me a 2d6.
I have investigate. Would that count?
Yeah, I'll let you use that instead, actually. Yeah, that's absolutely fine, yeah.
And then int, you said?
Int, please, yeah.
9.
Nice. Okay, so you've sort of just about hit the marker. It's worth knowing, again, anyone in chat's watching, you have degrees and margins of success and failure in this. I'm not telling them what they're rolling for, but in this case, just to give you an example, he actually needed a 10 to pass the check I wanted him to pass, because he's using a slightly different skill than the original attributed. Now, he hasn't entirely failed because he's only one behind, so he can deduce a few things from what he can see, but he's not going to get the full story here. So you can see down there that there's a few of the sort of 15 odd figures you can see don't seem to appear like the rest. There's maybe 4 or 5 of them that are a little bulkier in appearance from a distance. You don't want to get Kalanu too close, you don't want to sort of blow his cover, as it were. But from the distance that he's gotten with his augmented eyesight and stuff, you can see that they're not part of the refugee group. There's someone else, and when he circles around again, you get a bit of a deduction that perhaps they're trying to sort of not herd these people around, but they're in control of the movements of the rest of the group. I forgot to mention as well, there is a transport ship parked there, small-sized transport ship, a little bit larger than the shuttle you guys have been, at the edge of the docking bay. And it looks like they're preparing the guys to go on this ship, or maybe they've just got off the ship,
So basically, when I come to, he'll relay that to the group.
Wonderful. So obviously it gives you guys that information. Anyone want to do anything with that?
Are we still nearby the dockmaster's office?
About 100 yards away. Yeah, you've walked around the corner since, but you could nip back if you needed to.
I was thinking of seeing if I could see any records of any ship names I recognize.
Oh, sorry, you sent me a message about that, actually. Yeah, you could have been doing that in your initial sort of rifling through his paperwork and stuff. Yeah. Yes, you will have to give me a roll. I haven't got your character sheet here. Let me just see. 2 seconds.
Guys,
so many windows.
Don't forget, you guys can also take a look at the play along. I think I already did it just now. The play along link. You could also take a look at our characters if you wanted to. You could do exclamation point crew, and you could see what we look like. We've got a bunch of links. I think they're all working. I don't know if someone wants to check that. That would be awesome. We've got Jacob Abraham, Avi, Joseph, Peckman, Leah, and Gowani all right there. That is the crew of this ship, and everything should be working. So you guys are ever want a reference to what the characters are that you're looking at, those are there as well. So this is our also episode 1. This is our first episode today of the Traveler system, the game called Meridian. Welcome.
Thank you. I love it when you do those little ad breaks. It's great. Cool. So if you could give me a streetwise check with... I'm going to say education, sorry.
For whom?
For Jake, sorry. Yeah,
okay.
Cool. Yeah, you do recognize that one transport ship has recently docked sort of 4 or 5 hours ago from the... I'm just finding my notes.
Making you think.
The Balanos Flyers mercenary unit. You've never served with them, but you may have had the odd job that ran alongside them or bumped into them on conflicting jobs during your mercenary career. They seem to be, from reputation, your memory of the reputation at least, is that they're a relatively honorable bunch. They're more interested in money than they are in anything else, however, as good mercenary units that are successful are. You can't work out what platform they docked on, though, I'm afraid. Anyone else want to do anything? Obviously you've just been told that there's a group that, maybe fit the bill that you're looking for just outside the starport.
Outside the starport?
Yeah, so there's an external docking platform that's probably used for moving ships around the planet rather than off planet directly. But Gowoni's Raven Kalanu has spotted a large group of people, fits the amount of number you're looking for with a few extras, and he's relayed that some of these extras look a little different, and that there is a ship there waiting, and they're either loading or unloading these people.
All right. I think
Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, whatever is working for you. Did you find anything out in those sheets?
Looks like we've got some competition here, potentially. Got another merc group. We don't know what they're here.
What do you mean?
Well, a job's a job, and job needs money.
So we're racing to get some refugees?
That's why I think we should move it on a bit.
Okay. I want to get paid.
Cool. So Jacob leads the guys over towards the platform that Kalanu's identified and told Gowoni, and Gowoni's let you know whereabouts it is in relation to where you are. You step outside into this horrendous dry heat. I mean, they must have had some sort of air conditioning unit running in the starport, shockingly, considering how low-tech the place is. But I would imagine the people working in there were just getting a bit sick of it. It is piercingly hot outside. The dust is everywhere. It's getting in your eyes. Obviously, with all the ships coming to and fro, it's really churning this sort of dust cloud around you. And as described by the Raven, you do indeed see a group of people who look like they are very down on their luck. There are children, elderly with them. There's a couple of people with crutches. And around them are 5 other guys who obviously aren't part of this particular group. As you start to approach, they turn to look towards you because nobody else has come anywhere near their docking platform, obviously. And 1 or 2 of them start to unsling rifles, high quality assault rifles. And they're not pointing them at you, but they're obviously holding them ready. They're not sure who you are. You do look like a really dodgy bunch. And they're just sort of prepping up. Yeah. One of them in particular, who's probably wearing the most expensive outfit there. It's like a heavy-duty combat suit with no helmet. He's got a scruffy beard, and he's wearing an eye patch. Turns around to look over to you and sort of, stops the rest of the guys with a hand motion. Kind of gives a couple of tactical hand motions that anyone who served in the military will recognize as "Be ready, boys. We're not sure what this is." Who wants to approach him?
I'll do it.
Bonnie looks like you want to. Cool.
Yeah, I think Gowoni's probably the most qualified as well on paper. Sweet. So the rest of you guys hang back, obviously realizing you don't necessarily want this to turn into a fight with all these innocent people standing around. Somebody would get killed if guns were pulled here. If you pull guns on them, I should say, one of the refugees is likely to be... Sorry. Oh, God. Spoiler alert. One of the impoverished people is likely to get shot. Whereas if they pull guns on you, you're probably going to lose with the outfit you've got. Anyway, Gowoni walks up to this guy. What?
I'm Gawoni Aniwaya. I am here to help refugees.
Aniwaya?
I hear.
Damn, Aniwaya. Yeah, I recognize that. Oh, God, you from that noble house. Wait a minute, you boys picked up the same job we did? Get the refugees off the planet? Yeah, oh, well, that's gonna be a problem, because, we found them first.
But they're refugees. I mean, as long as they're off the planet.
Yeah, but you reckon I'm gonna let you take my job halfway through and not get paid for it? Then you're a little slow in the head, son.
Did I say that I was going to take anything from you?
No, I suppose you didn't. I just figured you got these armed folk back there and that crazy brick on a stick thing. Points to Avi. What's
Avi.
your intent here? Avi. Are you saying? Wait, is that some other language, or is that the guy's name, or what?
Name.
Oh, right. Oh, it's a thinking thing. Right, okay, yeah. Wait a minute, is that one of them droids? Damn. And he kind of mutters to one of the other guys, who's probably a ship's mechanic or something, like, you see that? There's a droid over there. So, yeah. They're kind of not really paying you much attention or giving you the respect that you're used to receiving in most conversations, being of a noble house. Hey, they're mercenaries.
So, you know my last name then, yes?
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with the Aniwaya. I believe I may have worked with some of your folk in the past.
So you could understand why assuming I would take something from you seems a bit ridiculous.
Why, you got a reputation for not taking stuff? I didn't know that, see. Oh, that's good of you, mighty honorable. So we just gonna get on with this job, right? You guys can make your way out of here.
Well, I mean, unless anyone in my group has a problem with you guys getting the refugees off the planet.
Anyone who's done merc work before will know you're not going to get paid if someone else takes them away. Obviously, that doesn't bother Gawoni at all because he's not in it for the money, but the rest of you might have something to say about this.
Hey, what's going on over there?
Who the fuck are you?
I'm yelling from far away!
Yeah, I can hear you mighty fine, though. Who the fuck are you?
I thought everyone was really like.
So yeah,
okay,
maybe Gawoni summons you a bit closer, so I don't have to shout and piss off my housemates.
So what's the problem here?
Hello.
Well, we found these guys first. We're gonna take them. We're gonna complete the job. You folks gonna go on your merry way and find some other work.
And Gawoni, what did you tell him?
I mean,
he says that's fine.
As long as the refugees are gone, I don't have a problem. But I said I don't know about you guys.
Oh.
What about the pay?
Well, obviously, if we get the refugees out of here, we get all the pay. You guys don't get none of the pay.
Jake's going to stride up. He's going to have, not aggressively, but he's got the palm of his hand resting on the pistol stock. Just sort of, it's not aggressive, but just a warning. But he is torn here because he knows that it's a mercenary job and they did get here first, and the honourable thing to do would be to cut your losses. But he wants to get paid. So he's obviously faltering a bit.
How much are you getting paid?
That's a bit rude. I guess you never worked in the mercenary business, but you never ask another man how much he's getting for a job.
Well, if someone could potentially offer more.
How much are you getting paid? You see, I'm not a man, so I can ask you.
It speaks. Damn.
Hello, my name is Avi.
Yeah, they told me that. I thought he might have been speaking his own language or something.
Negative. I speak English, as well as 4 other languages.
Oh, well, mighty fine, lar-dee-dar. Isn't that good for you? Hey, buddy, you got your hand on your pistol there like you going to use it.
Uh-oh.
I think, Jake's going to take his hand away.
That's probably for the best.
Assess the situation and see what they're equipped with.
I think you made the best choice there. I mean, I see that girlie's got a nice big rifle there, but it don't look like it's going to be much good up close. Now, this fella, he looks like he could take down a bull with his bare hands. He's pointing at Joe. Don't want you starting no trouble here neither. Now, look, Bottom line is, I got paid to take these refugees. I found them first. Now, unless you got some solution that means that, you get the refugees and, as your fella here, the well-to-do fella says, maybe you pay me.
It.
Sorry, what did you say, Dams?
We can split it.
Split it. I still feel like I may have the upper hand here and don't really see not much mind to finding compromise.
Well, maybe if you just listen to this. We spent so many of our resources jumping here, and now landing on the planet, and then finding all these refugees and all of these people. So if these are who you say they are, it's also just would be very kind of you if you were to let us just split it.
Kind of me. Yeah, we Battlenos Flyers are known for our kindness, ain't we, boys? A couple of the other lads with the helmets on, you can hear the sort of robotic chuckle coming through the helmet.
You guys don't know what kind of robot this is, do you?
No, I ain't seen nothing like it in my life. I like where you're going with this, Granick.
Of course, this is a Shinawage battle bot, newly developed. Now, you guys could just walk away with all the money, but I'm pretty sure you've got something lined up with getting a bonus if you get all the refugees, right?
Yeah, you seem to know an awful lot about this job. You're right, we gotta get them all or we don't get nothing.
So what happens if I program my buddy here to start mowing down the refugees?
Damn, you cold, son.
Excuse me.
He turns back and starts to look at one of his other crew members who sort of wanders over, and he's shaking his head like, I don't know, boss. I heard about them battle droids. They're real scary. It's like a battle mech suit, but it don't feel no pain.
How about, do you have any wounded?
Wounded? No, they got wounded. We ain't got wounded. What you say about that battle droid? Jesus, it's terrifying. What happens if he wings one of them folk? It's gonna be real bad.
This guy doesn't wing things. He tears them apart.
Normally what I do is get you to roll a persuasion check, but I absolutely love what you're doing, and you don't have the persuasion skill, and it's just so convincing. I'm gonna let you roll with this one. It's fucking brilliant. You can see they're visibly... Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what Avi's doing, like, during this. He's like, oh...
Grrr. So they're obviously unhinged by the threat. They've never seen anything like this. It's far too high tech for them to understand. They recognize Shinwa Hige, although he's technically made by Sushin, but that's fine. And they're like, oh god, no, we don't necessarily want to deal with that. You can see him looking around to try and work out if he's got like hidden lasers, or maybe his eyeballs turn into lightning dispensers or something.
I'm gonna turn around and walk over to Avi and like try and get up close to him. I don't know how robot whispering works, but I'll be like, do you understand what a lie is?
Yes, I do.
Can you pretend and lie that you're some kind of battle droid?
Let's see. I am a battle droid. Look out! I don't want to hurt you. Stand down. Stand down.
You heard the man, or robot.
Well, the NPC failed his streetwise check to work out who Architect was, and then failed his streetwise check to see through this lie. So this is working. You can see them like nervously walking back towards the ship, and Jared's a bit, you can see in his one functioning eye, he's a bit terrified. Oh, I like it, Dams. Yeah, lovely. Leah sort of stood by to the side with a smile on her face, a little dry grin on her face. They're probably misinterpreting that as a threatening smile, but it's probably that she's just finding the whole thing hilarious. Gawoni is the only person who might blow this wide open with his character. He's just looking confused and shocked. Okay, I like that too. That's nice. Yeah.
He's just like...
for all you know, he is a battle droid, right?
Right. He's like, what the...
So they're like, okay, well, bearing in mind, we only gonna get paid if all of the refugees come back in one piece, and we don't want no losses. It's far too expensive.
Neither do I.
Whoa, okay, yeah, all right.
So,
sorry, buddy.
Avi is he's got scanners and video equipment, and is a survey droid.
Correct.
Okay.
He has a pistol, but that's
like. So Jake's going to step in. Harvey, looks like we're going to have to call it soon. Give me a sip rep. Let me know what they've got.
Very well. It seems as if I'm seeing a slug thrower, or also known as a railgun, coming from the top of the turret right there. It is idle but not powered on. No one is manning. It seems as if there are 2 rifles beside. If we are at our 11 o'clock. We also see, looking from the forward here, there is 1 hidden stowed away pistol within the pocket, the front left pocket of our man here. Also,
he can
over
see
there,
inside my jacket?
Well, it's obvious, my friend. There is also over there, you have 1, 2, 3 left-handed refugees. Don't worry about them. They're creative.
Yeah, this has definitely worked. This has 100% worked. The boys start to make their way back towards their ship. Just help. Sort it. We'll find other work. The refugees are yours. Watch out for this one over here. He gets a bit feisty around the women, and she looks like she might be right up his street. Oh, you know that? God, this battle droid's terrifying. We better go tell the boss that they got battle droids out in them merc units now. Okay, you boys, I know it's rude to ask. Who you guys working for?
A man doesn't ask a man about their job.
I've forgotten their name now.
Your merc company. I can't remember what.
Well, I don't really associate with, but they are
something syndicate. I mean, or I was also giving you the opportunity to name your own squad here, boys. If somebody's creative enough to just be like, we're the blah 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 Pork Chop Express.
The Meridian.
That's the name of the sector. That's a stupid name.
I was going to throw in the name of the Vorstet Syndicate.
Whoa, you working for the Vorstet, the VS? Excuse me, out of mouthful of smoke. The VS? Damn. Okay, yeah, we don't want to tangle with no VS battle droids. Jesus, fucking hell, this whole job has turned into a bloody nightmare.
Abby, they're taking too long. Activate Sentinel mode.
They're already moving their way back to the ship, and that's the final straw. They literally start bolting.
Sentinel mode now. 10.
They bolt back into the ship,
9,
slams back up.
8,
There's a roar of the engines,
7,
and you might need to get the refugees
6,
away from the ship now.
5.
If people clear out, we should clear out too.
3, 2.
Brilliant. The refugees follow you quite keenly because they don't want to get knocked down by the shuttle taking off, and you get them back inside out of the heat. And Gawoni, you've already spotted a couple of injuries that you could almost immediately attend to if you wanted to. Kalanu's still flying scout up above.
I kind of have the scene in my head where the shuttle takes off, dust gets kicked up, everybody's like running, like, oh my god! They've got like they're like covering their faces and stuff and running away from the dust cloud. And then as the dust cloud clears and the shuttle's gone, Avi's just like,
2.
Still stood there in the middle of it. Oh yeah.
2,
Even
1.
and then like turns back to everybody and is like, grr.
Yeah, some of the refugees were waiting to see what you did when the countdown ran out, and they're like, oh, was that all a ruse?
I am not armed. I'm a survey droid.
That was beautiful, boys. I love it. I love it. Thank you, boys and girls. Sorry, and girls. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to move this plot along a bit quicker because I don't want to waste any time. So you guys get them back to the ship. Obviously, you give them the medical treatment that they need on the way. The dockmaster gives you no problem. You get back into the shuttle and lift off without any problem whatsoever, seeming like the mission is done. You're starting to congratulate each other. This seems like it was a lot easier than you were all expecting. And Leah takes off again, taking you back towards the Katamaru. It's an uneventful journey back, and it takes about 5 minutes anyway. The cat's still in orbit. Igor contacts you on the way in and allows the docking procedures to work. Ship settles down. You open the back out. RB starts to offer to prepare meals for the refugees who are starving, so they're really happy about that. A couple of them go with the med bay, go to the med bay with on a wire. A couple of the others are taken to cabins because they obviously need some rest and so on and so forth.
Cargo hold.
Cargo hold. Apologies. Okay. They've set up, you've set up a couple of beds there. The ship was designed for the mission, so there'll be a couple of beds down in the cargo hold for the elderly to sit on. Maybe in a soft spot, Joe takes a couple to the engine, a couple of kids to the engine to show them the engine. Actually, no, wait. Joe's terrified of taking loved ones around with him. And I think he's talking to his real kids, so that was perfect timing. Anyway, and as you come through, there is a comm waiting for you. Igor contacts Jacob almost immediately. There is a comm waiting for you on the comm system. That's cool. Grennick, no worries.
Yep, I'm going to disappear off into my bunk to go and take the comm signal. See what it is.
All right, so the comm signal comes in. It's a manifest of the refugees, just to ensure that you've got everyone on there. Why that wasn't sent to you earlier, nobody knows. And on your way in, you'd have counted that you brought up 10 refugees, but the manifest has 11 on it.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, you may find it prudent to go down and find each of the refugees, ask them their names, tick them off the manifest, and work out who the missing party member is.
I was going to kind of check them in before you mentioned I got the comms, so you will go and do that. Yeah.
Cool. So the one name that's missing is Xavier, and this was the one that you were told in your original mission is the secondary mission here. Now, obviously, the rest of your crew is unaware that there is a secondary mission as far as they're concerned. Mission success. Let's go on home and get paid. But maybe one or two of you, I think, Leah, you'd probably have noticed no credits have been transferred yet, even though you've got them technically to safety. I mean, obviously, you probably have to take them somewhere to get the final payout, but you were expecting at least some sort of message, sort of acknowledging that the job had been done by now. And you guys bump into each other, Jacob and Leah, in the lounge area. The door to the galley is open, so Abby, you'll be able to listen to this. And Gowoni, although you've been doing a lot of medical stuff recently, you brought a couple of them through to the lounge area as well, just to make sure they're sat somewhere comfortably. A couple of them have more sort of psychological trauma. It may be nice for them to spend time in a comfortable environment rather than the stark harshness of the med bay. So you're treating, minor wounds and injuries there instead.
All right. I'm doing shaman stuff for the.
Of course, yeah. There's a lovely thick smell of incense.
They have the healing.
Yeah.
They have the mental problems that they're dealing with. I'll try to help them.
I like that. You've gone into maybe a guided meditation with one or two of them. They're quite open to this. They seem quite open people. They've obviously seen the worst of life, and they're just happy to be helped by somebody. Jacob comes swanning in with a comm signal in his hand. It's his comm device in his hand.
That's mighty fine work from everyone. I must say I am impressed. That could have got messy down there, but we've got a slight problem. It's an opportunity, really. It's an opportunity to earn a little bit more money, but also we've still got a refugee out there, a refugee in potential trouble, and I'm not quite sure why they're missing.
Also, at the end of the comm signal, there is just a string of digits, and in hexadecimal, just a string of almost computer packs, computer language. Sorry, I was just reading something and I read literally what it said. Yeah, cool beans, Raven. So Raven has already stood up and is ready to go and save this person. No problem at all. No hesitation whatsoever. But yeah, there's this string of digits, maybe 30 or 40 characters long. Means nothing to you, Jacob.
All I got is this cryptic message here, some gibberish. I don't know if anyone knows what this might mean.
But you can overhear this from the galley.
What do you mean by cryptic message? Are you saying, like, and alluding to another sort of pattern in speech, or are you talking encryption as in need my or Igor's help?
It's some kind of computer code.
Oh. Well. Hurry.
All right, you have a quick look at it and you recognize it is the beautiful. It is the standard format of an Alliance tracker signal.
Interesting.
Hey, Leah. Do you reckon you might be able to crack this thing?
It seems as if it is some sort of signal for tracking from the Alliance.
Yeah, Lee, you're familiar with it as well. When you were back in your youth, when you were cracking into banks and hacking code networks and so on and so forth, you recognize the encryption system they've used on it. That basically, although it looks like a signal, if you have glanced at it, which I assume you would have done by now, you'll be aware that it's giving currently a false reading. You need to decrypt it to be able to give an accurate reading from it.
Well, let me work on this. Just a couple of minutes at most and get it done.
She disappears off into probably the workshop and have the better computers in it, which is near the port aft of the ship. Settles down in front of one of the high quality terminals that obviously being Shinwa Hige, which by the way, Myth, I forgot to tell you what that loosely translates as from Japanese. It means mythic moustache. Roughly speaking.
Nice.
Anyway, so she heads off to start decoding this message. Oniwa is already ready to go. He's waiting at the shuttle like, come on, there's somebody in need. Come on, let's go. He's, obviously probably fed Kalanu by now and, apologized that he's had to bring him back to this sealed room again. Joe has got bogged down in some maintenance in the engine room. Fortunately, he has some RL issues he has to deal with, so we're going to let him step out for a moment and deal with that. It's very important. So he's going to be dealing with some maintenance. You can hear the swear words coming out. Bloody cheap-ass systems never work like they should do. Why didn't they use my engine? God damn it, I'd have made money off it too. Come from the engine bay. He's probably not going to be of much use for this, unfortunately. So, it's up to you guys what we do while this coding's going on. It's going to take another 5 minutes or so.
Okay, so we need this.
I just realized that's actually kind of a dead space that I'm talking about here. So Leah comes back in, having decoded the message, and she gives it over to Avi because it seems like it's his kind of forte to use this. I mean, you know it's a decoded message now. You know it's going to be accurate. But you wouldn't be able to use the locator itself, Leah. That would have to be somebody who would have, sort of navigation skills and astrogation skills and so on and so forth. Oh, I like that. Yeah, Raven Kalanu has gone to play with the kids down in the cargo bay, which is actually quite a large room, so it can work as an vivarium for him. And they're sort of chasing the Raven around and cackling with glee because it's so intelligent and it's sort of stealing things from them and then giving it back and so on. Onawa is obviously very happy that that's happening. He's making people smile. That's what he's about. So yeah, I was going to say, Raven, do feel free to just say this stuff. I know you're being really polite, making sure you don't jump in, but please do, because I feel like I'm talking too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, with that, Avi, you probably think the best place to use this would be up in the astrogation suite. It will have maps of the planet now that you've been there for a few hours. The ship will have automatically surveyed the planet and so on and so forth. You would assume anyway.
Right.
So if you want to head up and input the coordinates, you can do so. Yeah, and then find. That. Wonderful. It's not going to be a tech because this is something you could just take your time over if it wasn't working, and you find that it is indeed a locator beacon, and that it is currently at an area about 2 miles west of where you were, probably nearer to the fighting as it was described, and that currently it's not moving. You can see from the history of its motion, because it's a very high-level data packet that comes with this, that it has been moving around. It's sort of been moved from location, waited for an hour at a location, moved to another location, waited an hour at a location, and it seems to be generally making its direction sort of towards the starport. Which I would assume you would relay to the rest of the crew.
Yes, I definitely do. Sorry, I'm also looking at trying to get the next game set. But yes.
Yes, no worries, of course. Yeah, I need to wrap this up pretty soon.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm still figuring stuff out.
Okay, cool. So obviously Avi tells you, yeah, this is a beacon. It's been moving around, and it's been moving and then stopping for an hour, moving and then stopping for an hour. It's currently stopped, and it's only just stopped. So we've probably got an hour or so before it starts to move again. He's also, because he's a wise, intelligent robot, brought up maps of the surrounding area and has shown the movement it's been going through. Now, Jacob, you may have some ideas as to what we're going to do regarding this missing refugee. I mean, Onawa is still like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I wanted to see what I can see on the lay of the land and see if I can work out where they've come from or where they're going, or see if we can get any imagery or sensors down to their position to get any information to recon.
Sure thing. Does anyone in the crew have sensor skill? I believe somebody does. I can't remember.
I think I do. I think Avi does.
You do actually, yeah. Yes, you do. Yeah.
Sensors.
I do.
Oh, cool. Okay, nice. So maybe the two of you, Jacob's suggesting we need to get a better look at where this has been and where it's going. And maybe the two of you, if you want to both give me a census check, having headed up to the navigation suite.
If we had the time, this would be a really good time to demonstrate the assisted rolling system for Traveller, where one person does a check, and the effect of that roll is then input into the next person, which is then input into the next person.
Oh no, we can do that. Yeah.
Nice.
So if Avi, if you want to roll first, and then your success modifier will affect intellect, please. Yep. Your success modifier will yep, sweet. So and now if Leah, if you want to give me a census check as well, and I will add the result of Myth's success on top.
It's obviously set up so you can complete a more difficult or more complex task. But this is kind of like not under fire, so it's not something you normally roll for, but it's just a good demonstration of how that part of the system
Yeah,
works.
absolutely. Yeah.
How do I roll it?
So on your skill or on your character sheet, you're going to want to go to the there's going to be the skills, and then click the what do you call it, the asterisks, the stars there.
Yeah, 3 little stars to the
click
left.
Those. Yeah, click those, and then drop down the ability that you're going to be using. So in this case, it's going to be intellect. So click the button next to the skill on the left.
It popped out, so it didn't work.
Okay.
No, that's cool. That worked. Yep. Yeah, we got the result. Yep.
Okay, great. Nice.
Sweet. So yeah, between the two of you, you do get up to an 11, which over the success required of 7 is more than enough. So you have managed to get a full map of the surrounding area. As Architect's saying, realistically, we wouldn't be rolling dice for this stuff. I just feel like we haven't rolled any dice. But if Architect, if you want to quickly give me a tactics check, because this is going to be a combined endeavor between the 3 of you now.
I can do tactics or recon.
Recon, yep, recon's good.
Only because I'm better at recon.
No, that's fine. Actually, recon is the more relevant skill. Yeah, intellect based, please. Oh, wow, Jesus. Okay, yeah. So you get a total of 14 over the required 7 you needed to actually get a good idea of what might be a wise plan here. Now, between the 3 of you, you're stood up in the astrogation suite, and you can see in this map of the land that there is a ravine, and if they follow the similar trend of movement they've been doing from Architect's very, very deductive role of what they've been up to, and the very good work you guys have done on the cartography, you can see that they will be passing through this ravine in probably 2 hours' time from now. The speed at which they've been moving implies that they're probably in some sort of vehicle. Actually, no, it doesn't. It implies that they're probably on foot, because we've lost the guy that would probably be able to deal with the vehicle. He's disappeared for a bit. So they'll probably be on foot. And this, from any kind of military experience that Architect would have had, seems like a wise place to maybe try and intercept the package, as it were.
Do we have any idea of how many there are? 3?
Not
maybe?
a clue. No, you haven't got any accurate sensor data or whatever. I see what you're saying, and yes, I take that in mind. But no, it's not. You can't see what's going on the planet. You've just got maps of the planet from the scans and so on and so forth. So, boys and girls, what do you want to do with that data?
Yeah. Someone's got to fill me in with what we have for data.
So basically, we've worked out a place where they're going to be in about 3 hours' time, which would be enough time to get the shuttle down, park it out of sight, and get to. And it's a ravine, a perfect tactical opportunity to try and reclaim the
going back to
missing
planet.
refugee.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Let's do it. I think that's probably what we have to do here.
I suggest we take the shuttle.
Avi, when we're down there, where do you need to be to survey?
What?
Where do you need to be to survey?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you wanted to survey, right?
My mission is more of an agnostic mission, really. You see, there's no quite ending to the mission. I just need to survey what there is, send any data towards the Alliance. So there is no goal that I should watch or look for or record, unless told to. But I will always be recording and dump my memory banks on here on the ship if I ever need to.
So like when I did my journey as a shaman, just wandering, that would be the same kind of thing. For knowledge.
I'm not wandering. I've got a mission.
Well, right.
I was programmed to, I guess, wander. Wander and wonder. That last part was confusing. Wander.
Jacob, you're aware that the window for success of this tactical maneuver of the ambush is narrowly fading away.
Yeah, so we've probably got sort of 45 minutes, half an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's fire the engines and let's get down there and get this person up and out of there.
Right, so you guys...
Yeah, I recommend we get down there and we land a little way out, walk up, and see if we can scout out the land and see if we can ambush the whatever they are and see if our hostage is there. Or
Yes.
what's it called?
Refugee. I knew
That's
what
the
you
one.
meant. Brilliant. So nobody's offering any resistance. You jump back into the shuttle, Lee. You're quite keen to fly this bird again. It was really good fun. On a wire, obviously, you want to make sure that this refugee is found home safe and sound. An architect, you realize that actually this is the only valuable refugee out of the entire bunch in regards to getting paid. Yeah, I can see your face, Raven.
I'm not saying this in character, but it might be more profitable to eject the rest into space. Yeah.
Don't say that out loud.
I don't say that.
Baron coming in with that undead raid. Thank you so much. What's up, guys? Thank you for those undead hands in chat trying to attack the starship. Guys, I need you all to go ahead and give us some Mythematic in chat. We need to try to fight them off with our little aliens. Go ahead and do it. Our little loving tentacle-filled aliens. Drop that in chat. Try to fight them off. I don't know if it's going to go well, but we're going to try our best. Guys, welcome. We've been playing Traveler for the past 2 hours. It's actually really awesome. We had a lot of fun. We are on a ship on a planet trying to get some refugees. We're actually right now trying to get back onto Belkis, so I guess we're just going to take the landing here. And then we are going to go ahead and try to get ourselves the last refugee to complete the mission. We have all 10. We went ahead and told the bandits and the mercenaries that the refugees we needed were ours, and if they weren't, they were going to release the battle droid. And the battle droid is a survey bot and not a battle droid at all. So that was actually hilarious and a lot of fun. I would recommend watching it on YouTube later when we all upload in back then. But thank you so much, guys. How are you all doing? I hope your stream was great. I was thinking earlier that it's going to be a really faulty, weird, wacky transition between the two games tonight, but it doesn't matter. Just enjoy while we figure everything out and also finish up the episode this evening. Grenning had to run for a quick bit. He's got some IRL things that he's dealing with, but we are going to go ahead and start the rest of this mission by getting that last refugee. If we don't get that last refugee, we will get none of the money. So let's do this.
Cool. So you separate from the ship as you did last time. Again, a wonderful, graceful thing. In fact, it's even more so the last time. Leah's really getting her hands around the feel of the ship. And the shuttle Kodomo starts to make its way back down towards the planet. She does a more aggressive re-entry this time because you're on the clock. And there's flames spouting around the front of the ship. It has no problem with it. And you guys have all suffered, have all been through this sort of thing in the past. So it's not like it's surprising. What is surprising is the skill at which she's piloting this thing, the speeds at which she's flying it. She brings it down really low and starts to dart through the canyons on the way towards the proposed landing site that Jacob has selected. It's about, a 10-minute walk from this ravine that you hope that the tracking signal is going to pass through. As you were leaving, Igor contacted Avi and said, I can provide you with a real-time uplink on the position of the tracking signal if you would require. And I would imagine Avi probably supported that.
Yes.
So Avi now has a live uplink as to where this tracking signal is, which they all have assumed is going to be the final refugee. And it makes a little pooping sound, yes. They make it back to the they land the shuttle and start to make their way across the dry desert terrain towards this ravine that they've planned the ambush around. Just a sort of completely out of character note, Myth, I realize we're running kind of short on time here. I'm happy if you want, we can delay this combat encounter until next week. You sure?
Yep, keep going.
Cool.
Yep.
No worries. All right, so you guys make it up to the ravine. The live tracking signal has come through, showing that you do actually have a bit of time to prepare for this. You've got a good 10 minutes to get yourselves into position and such. I would assume Onewire would probably release Kalanu to start getting a survey of the land. I see the nod of approval there. And if you guys want to let me know, I'm going to try to roughly describe the terrain here. We're not going too detailed on where things are and so on and so forth, so don't get too bogged down in that. But basically, it's quite a narrow ravine. It's about a 30-meter decline from the edge of the ravine down to, about a 10-meter decline from the edge of the ravine down to the bottom. It's about 2 cars in width. They're going to be able to move, the the sort of group of people are going to be able to move through it with a bit of space to move around either side. And you could, if need be, scale down the side of this this ravine to get to the people if need be. At the moment, you're stood on the eastern side of it. They will be approaching from the north. And the distance between you, if you were right at the edge of the slope, would be roughly 20 or 30 meters to the bottom of the slope, where you assume they're going to come through because it's the quickest route for them to head in directions they've been heading. So if you want to let me know whereabouts you'd like to sort of deploy, as it were, I have got a little sketch on a notepad here, so I will sort of put down where you are and stuff and hope to describe it aptly enough, but we haven't got any maps for this in Roll20, so sorry about that.
That's okay. So there's going to be a... there's a cliffside.
Yeah, you could scrabble down. Even Arvi could make his way down there if he needed to. He might have to make a dex check on it because of his tiny little legs. But everyone else wouldn't have any problem getting down there without a dexterity check unless they were under fire in the process.
How wide and deep is the ravine?
So it's probably only about 10-15 meters in depth to the top of the slope, and it's maybe 10 meters across at the bottom, including the slope itself. We're looking at 30 meters from the center of the ravine to the edge of the cliffside, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to work out if this refugee is indeed with them. Not sure what we've got to do that.
Well, I can zoom my I can zoom my optics in. Let me take a look here.
Can I go ahead and make a recon?
Absolutely, please do. Yeah.
But could I make a investigate?
Yeah, I think investigate is going to be an acceptable use of that skill here. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Investigate. I'm going to go intellect. Submit with a 9. You were muted.
Sorry, I wasn't putting the push to talk. I'm trying to type as well. I'm doing awfully here. So you would be able to deduce the. I'm so sorry. What were you asking?
I was gonna zoom my lenses in and see if we can find out if the refugee is actually with them, and try to scan the area for best things.
Yeah, you can see a plume of dust coming up from the horizon. It's being created by people moving on foot rather than sort of a vehicle or whatever. Right. So I've just received a message that I'll need to keep my voice down just a smidgen because my housemates are on their way to bed. So I'll lean in a bit and make it sound like Solace's sexy hour.
Hello.
And you'll be able to sort of get the gist that maybe there are 3 or 4 people coming together. You won't from this distance, and with that roll, I'm afraid, be able to tell the individuals involved. However, the tracking signal, as far as Igor is producing, is coordinating with the data and a bit of basic trigonometry that, yes, the tracking signal is coming from one of those 4 people.
Okay. Awesome.
I believe Kalano's in the air, by the way. I just wanted to hint that Kalano's up there.
All right.
Kalano's the robotic bird that Raven has, by the way.
Cybernetically augmented.
He's cybernetically augmented. You can't, if from a distance, you can't really see until he gets really close. Yeah. You can't really tell, which is convenient for him.
Yes, indeed. It allows him to blend with the natural world, shall we say.
Are they...
There's no birds
around. They're just walking, or...
Yes, indeed. I mean, do you want to do a link up with him and get an idea of what's going on from a slightly closer angle? Sure. If you want to give me an investigate check as well.
Yeah, we want to try and work out who they're with, because we don't know how we're going to approach this. If we're going to go guns blazing and hope we don't kill innocents, or if we're going to try and bargain.
Oh yeah, you guys have all got a comm system that Igor suggested you take with him. That's like a little earpiece that you can put in. You can all talk to each other freely, very quietly. Sorry. Investigate 8. Okay. So I'm going to give him a select.
Great at shooting, so I could go ahead and try to talk. I mean, I am the battle droid. Ha 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 ha.
I do have my sniper.
I was going to say, I think Leah's fingers just starting to twitch over the edge of the rifle here in this conversation. Yeah. Just to let Raven know what happened with Kalano's scouting mission. So he actually had a bit of a positive modifier for being able to get a lot closer to the action and not be suspected to be anything dodgy. I mean, there are eagles floating around and falcons and stuff in this environment, so it wouldn't be out of place to have a raven come nearby. I mean, they're a bit like, wow, that's a big bloody bird. But you can pick out that 3 of the people are armed. One of them has handcuffs on. He's walking in the middle of them. The other 3 are walking in a sort of triangular formation around him, obviously protecting him and escorting him across across the landscape.
And I'm basically relaying this to everyone
Understood.
In real time.
Yep.
As I'm getting the information, basically. Because for those of you that are kind of watching, what happens, my character will touch a little dot of metal on the side of his eye, and it'll just, you see like a little screen kind of forms there, and he can see kind of into what his raven is seeing.
Yeah, super.
And the spirit world, but that's separate.
Right.
So what we're going to do is, again, we'll use this collaborative role system. If Architect, you want to give me a tactics check, and Raven, do you have tactics or recon? Sorry, not Raven. I'm so sorry, Leah.
I have recon.
If you want to give me a recon roll as well, please.
Should I do it on intellect or?
Yeah, intellect for both you guys, please. Yeah. Ooh.
I just get good dice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Leah, you can't see anything through your eye link to your scope. You sort of hold the rifle up to mainly just maintain the illusion that the scope actually does something on it. But there's too much dust in the way for you to get anything from it. Obviously, Avi's had better sight through it because he's got a bit of, he's got really augmented eyesight and so on and so forth. Architect, your tactics strategy here is showing you, that this is going to be a scenario where if the initial encounter, the initial first shots don't cause them to scatter, there's going to be a high chance of this guy getting hurt in the process. You are maybe aware that the indication was that they needed the chip, but I don't think you want to piss off Gawoni by ripping it out of this guy's arm. Indeed, yes.
Yeah, I reckon we need to get this refugee to safety, and I don't believe they've got good intentions. I think we need to stop them in their tracks, and we need to get this refugee back with his family and friends, and complete the mission.
How do you propose we do this?
How about we have a sniper up on the ridge? We distribute around, and we wait for them and lay down some fire on them.
Cool. Who do you think?
So Kalanu, I can't do a voice for Kalanu, so I'm just going to use my real voice here. But he's been listening in too, because you've given him that ability to understand other people's speech, and you can talk to him, sort of thing. I agree with the guy with the hat. I think you need a sniper on the ridge. You maybe want to try to separate them out somehow, because I think if you start shooting in there, this other guy's going to get hurt.
So maybe I can.
I'll go down, and then I will then try to split them up. Because I have noticed that I am rather interesting on this planet. A lot of people are very intrigued at my features. So I think I will go down, and I will try to distract them, split them the best I can. And then maybe from there, I will turn the other, dare I say, cheek to, of course, anybody, of course, being incapacitated from a barrage of sniper fire.
Yeah, maybe you could lie on the side of the ravine. You'd make a rather convincing scrap heap, and wait for them to pass. When we call the signal, then we'll have them surrounded.
Very well. I will pretend I am a scrap heap. I'm sorry. One more time.
That's rude.
Oh, poor Avi.
Run that by me again. I'm serious. What?
Yes. Go through the plan again, Architect.
Okay, so we put Leah up on the ridge with the sniper covering the ravine. We can have Avi down in the ravine, off to one side, looking like a scrap heap. No offense. And when we start the shooting, he can then pop up, and I see you're armed, and we can hit them from all sides. So I'll be off one side of the ravine, and and I can never remember your name. So it's Guani. Is that pronounced?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be great if you could be on standby just in case anyone gets hurt. We got to make sure this refugee doesn't get hurt.
Just a bit of DM tip here as well, Gawani. Obviously, you don't have any malicious weaponry or anything. You've only got your ceremonial tomahawk, which, as we've discussed, is not used in a sort of violent manner. Kalanu, on the other hand, is not an incapable fighter. He's had to fight for his food on many of occasions, so you may be able to utilize him for little strafing runs with his talons and such. If you'd like.
Yeah, because I mean, I have the martial art thing, right?
You do have Aikido, yes. You'd have to be incredibly close for that to be of any benefit, but maybe you could go and hide with... why am I telling you guys a plan? You make a plan.
I can just sit on the road in front of them.
Wandering shaman.
Right.
Oh.
Excellent.
To get close, I can defend for myself, and Golano can fight.
Very well. Let's do
Right,
that
so
then.
we decided we got the flanking maneuver from RV, we got the distraction from Guani, and myself and Leah up on the ridge, ready to take them down.
So yeah, Leah's she's already loaded a rifle. She's been tinkering with it. She's grinning. She loves this plan, I think. So
Awesome.
Very
sweet. Right.
well. Make my way down.
Cool. Just because it's really funny, give me a dex check on your way down.
Yeah, I
please,
know.
buddy.
That's what I was worried about. Dexterity.
Oh, you just about made it. I mean, you did actually
Couple
fall
stumbles.
over, but
Yeah.
yeah. As you make it to the bottom, you sort of stand back up in a very tink kind of way, as if it was all intended. yeah.
Awesome.
You don't have any problems getting down there, Gawoni. Your legs are distinctly longer than his, and you were designed for this sort of thing. So yeah. So as far as I'm checking, Jacob, you'll have crossed over the ravine to the opposite side, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Cool, yeah. So we've got Jacob set up on the western side of the ravine. We've got Arvi in a little pile pretending to be, a scrap heap. No offense intended. On the bottom of the western side of the ravine, we've got Gawoni sat in the middle of the ravine with his arms crossed, looking very peaceful and tranquil. And we've got Leah just out of sight behind a rock on the eastern side of the ravine with a sniper rifle trained just in front of Gawoni. Sounding good?
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Just for the sake of combat mechanics, you guys will all be in 30 meters if you choose to engage at the right moment, of course, as they come in. Architect, I'm going to require your assistance here because I'm terrible at the combat in this. Let's drag everyone back to the cat just because it's a bigger deck plan.
For the sake of time, everybody, just wanted to let you know, also know in chat, we are going to be going over into the next game's slot. We've kind of had oh, I pressed a button and now I don't know where I am. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm back. All right, so we went over, so we're going to probably go over in this one too. The transition also between the D&D game and this one is also going to be a bit rough, so just bear with us while we do that. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Let's continue.
So we will need to get people to start rolling initiative, which is not the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to allow Architect to teach everyone how to do that so I can also learn how to do that.
Okay, so are we all on the Katamaru page?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Katamaru, yeah. I'm on the Katamaru page.
Okay,
Yep.
so if you look at the... Oh no, we've all moved, haven't we? You've got to find your token.
Give it a click.
We are all in the
Front
lounge.
section.
Yeah.
Somebody missing.
He's not with us. He's still in the engine room.
Yeah, you have to find your token and click on it so it's selected. And then find your character sheet in the tab on the right under Journal. And then on the combat section, you can click Roll Initiative, but you have to have your token selected first. And if you've got your token selected, it should update. If not, Silas can update manually.
What?
Yes.
So we click it and then just roll.
Click on your token.
Yep.
And then roll the dice by clicking on the initiative roll, and it will update the turn order tracker.
Can't see any tokens.
Or I can do it for you quickly.
Yeah, just do it, Arct.
Initiative.
It's under the combat section.
Oh, combat sections. All right. Roll initiative. Select the token first.
Yeah, so if you click on the actual little RV token, a little icon, and we made
it for you. Sorry.
That's right. I got it. I got it as well.
And we could also, technically, Jacob can use his military tactics to use the successes of that roll to up everyone's initiative.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
GM allows.
Yep, feel free to give me a tactics roll.
I'm just finding, yeah.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, cheers.
Do it on intelligence, I guess.
Yep.
And intellect, sorry.
Intellect, because we're planning it, yeah.
Yep.
That's probably not a success there.
No, unfortunately not.
Right. So that's our initiative, and we can roll for the mooks as well.
Well, you guys are going to get the first round for sure, because you're launching an ambush, so you're going to get the first round of attacks, but we'll roll for the mooks now just to get them done, so if you don't mind, give me a hand with that, that'd be sweet.
Sure.
And I'll sort of describe the approach while you're doing it. So you guys are all set up, ready to ambush. Gawoni, you're the most central person here. You're going to see a lot of this happening as it comes in. Myth, you're not going to see much of it because you're sort of crumpled up. You've left a position where you can see with your sort of camera eyes what's coming in, and Leah and Jake, you've got a good clear line over this, but Gawoni's going to see everything happening first, mainly because he's also got bloody air support. Yeah. So the three mooks, as we're calling them, just for the sake of ease, they do have names, but it's not going to be worth going through that. I don't want to get bogged down in it. We're accompanying them over. I forget what weaponry they've got on these guys. Mainly, they're going to have pistols. They'll be wearing flak jackets and stuff, and they're obviously a merc unit here, and they've obviously got to this guy before you guys have. And separated him out, which is of interest to those of you who don't know why he's separated out. So 2 secs. It's no biggie, Raven. Either was fine. As they approach, they're completely unaware of what's going on. They can just see this fella sat in the floor there. There's enough other bits of rusted machinery around that they really aren't paying any attention to you, Arby, whatsoever. And they sort of stop maybe 10 meters away from you, Gawoni. And you can hear through the sort of convoys. Excuse me, sir. Could you move out of the way, please?
Sorry. How's your day going?
He'll stand up.
The status of our day is irrelevant, sir. Please move out of the way.
You don't have to be rude.
Sir, it's worth acknowledging that rudeness is not a compulsion. We do have we do have weaponry here, and we will be forced to use it if you do not move out of the way. Please comply.
He'll put his hands up and step off to the side of the road.
Okay, cool. Let me know when you guys want to start firing. Do you know what I mean? I think, Leah, you're going to be... let me check. Jake, you're going to get the first shot if you want to, or you can defer your action for later. Apologies about my lack of combat knowledge for this game.
Yeah, I just noticed that we should all have used 12 plus decks, and they should have rolled because we're prepared and they're not, but this also works.
Yeah. I'm going to let you each have a go, and then we'll cycle through afterwards. Yeah.
Sure.
So... are they in the center of the regime?
They're in the exact in the regime. Yeah. They're in the exact right spot that you planned for. Gawoni stepped away to the side here. Everybody's got a clean shot. Gawoni's about 5-10 meters away now. He's not going to get hit by incidental fire. You're in a good spot.
The combat rounds is split up into a major action, which is using a skill which needs your concentration, or an attack. So that's your major action. And then you also get minor actions. You get one minor action that could be something like a skill that doesn't need your full attention or isn't complicated, or it could be changing stance, moving. But you can also do things like aim. So I'm suggesting that we hold a turn to allow us to all get steady.
Good shot.
Yeah. So how that can work, instead of taking a major action, you can take up to 3 minor actions. So you also get free actions, which is stuff like talking and shouting warnings. So I'm going to take the first turn and suggest that I'm going to take 1 minor action to make sure that I am and I'm not moving anywhere fast. I'm just going to make sure I'm in the best position to get a clear shot, and then take 2 minor actions to start aiming. Sure. Each minor action that is successive and uninterrupted and have my target in sight, I'll get +1 to hit for my next shot.
Sweet. So just to summarize, when the next combat round starts, you'll be at +2 to hit if you don't use yet another minor action to continue aiming. Gotcha.
Cool.
Other things you can do is hold your action. Traveler states until any point, but I always like the idea of I will hold my action until and give a trigger.
Yeah.
If you don't use your action, you automatically get bumped right to the top of the turn order next time, so you never lose out. Other things, minor actions are also reloading.
I think most people here will be okay with the chambers they've got, but we'll let you know when you're out of ammo otherwise. So.
Yeah. How many people are there?
There are 3 mooks and 4 of you guys.
Okay.
And there's also the one innocent bloke as well, who's not going to be taking combat action.
Actually, something else I've just thought of.
Go on.
No, so just keep it moving. I was going to do like another recon check to just assess the situation and make sure everything is going to plan as a minor action.
Yeah, you won't need to take a check for that. You can see clearly this is actually going to plan, and a shocking twist from all your previous combat encounters. Finally, something's going according to plan. Might help that you have a raven in the sky who's sort of relaying information to one of your party members, going, "It's fine, it's fine. Everything's looking like you said it was going to look."
So, if it's okay, as a free action, I'll whisper down the comm line. Hold it, keep on target, just so everyone's aware if that's what we're up
Why
to.
he hasn't shot. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Lyra moves to you. Are you going to do the similar sort of thing? Just spend some time aiming, making sure you've got the guys right in your scopes. I mean, you guys might want to start calling which targets you're going to engage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cool. I would assume you probably go for the guy that's closest to you because it's going to be the cleanest shot, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. And Jacob, I'll assume the same for you. Yeah, you'll be going to the guy on the left then.
Yep.
Cool. We're then moving down to Avi. Obviously, you're in a pile on the floor, actually quite close to this guy on the left. You're maybe 5 meters behind him towards the edge of the ravine there. You've heard what they're deciding to do. There's one bloke that's unengaged, and you've also got this refugee who maybe is going to be looking for cover or some sort of protection, you know.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Can I aim?
Yeah, I'm going to say that you can, because you're a robot, you can sort of pre-plan the algorithms required that when you stand up, you're going to have all the correct computations in position to then make the shot really cleanly. Yeah.
Okay.
Which guy are you going to aim at? They've got names now. So we've got Thorstein on the left, Ty in the middle, and Phileas on the right.
Okay. I'm going to go after whoever's closest to me. I'm imagining it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, cool beans. And then we move down to Gowoni. What would you like to do with this? Obviously, everyone's let you know, we're not engaging just yet. We'll be going in any second.
He's just kind of keeping a constant eye, so he can basically he can see what's going on.
When you say I'll get the VIP,
so
gotcha.
He'll dive on the VIP whenever you guys say.
Nice. Cool.
If someone needs attack, if someone needs attack, and you already know that the Raven's in the sky already, he will say, "Try not to kill."
All right, so we're going to cycle back to the top of the round. There's been no malicious actions taken by anyone at the moment. They've just seen this guy stepping to the side, sort of muttering slightly and looking like he's going to get out of the way. We appreciate your cooperation, sir. And they start to move forward a few more meters. It's not going to affect any of your aim rolls, but now it's to the position where actually they've sort of just passed by Gowoni. You're still 5-10 meters away from the rest of the positioning and so on and so forth. They've kept an eye on him as they go past, but he's now got a really direct line towards the VIP who is at the back of the pack. So when the shooting starts, he's going to be able to sort of dive through without having to rugby tackle his way through or American football tackle his way through two burly lads. So we then come down to Jake.
Best transmit. I've been aiming for 2 rounds. I think technically I could aim for another round and still do a major action, but it's up to DM.
That's fine by me. No, absolutely fine.
Now, the things that will affect how easily I can hit them, if they're in any kind of cover, there's a quarter, half, three-quarter, and full cover system, but they're not in cover.
Not at all.
There's extreme weather, so if it's really windy or dusty, for example.
Not really, unless they retreat back into the dust cloud they've created,
For every full 10 meters that they move in a turn, as in one minor action is 6 meters, so it's kind of like a fast movement, you get a -1.
Yeah, they're cautiously moving forward, so you're not getting applied by that. Yep.
And also, when you get shot, you're allowed to react by taking a dodge.
Yeah.
You force the attacker a -1 to hit, but you have to take a -1 on all of your rolls for your next turn.
Yep.
And also, it's kind of a role-playing thing. You're not going to dodge an attack you don't know is coming.
Exactly that. I was going to say they're not going to dodge the first barrage. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go. I'm going to do a minor action to aim, and then a major action to shoot, and I'm going to use a free action to go down the goal.
Nice. All right, cool. So give me your roll for that beautiful plasma revolver you've got.
God damn, it's expensive to fire.
Yeah, it's going to cost you a lot of your payout to refuel, reload this thing later.
So I've removed the ability to add these modifiers, which
that's
is
fine. I will be doing it with the total that they need to be hit, so that's fine.
Be right back.
No problem at all, Myth. Sweet. Yes, you have hit him. Could you also give me a 1d10, please?
Okay, I don't know if it asks for a stat there. Doesn't know that it really matters.
It's already factors index.
Oh yeah. Okay. A 1d10.
Just a 1d10 in a straight up roll, please.
Let's see who I've hit.
No, see where you've hit Thorstein.
Okay.
All right, yep. You shot him in the chair. Oh, to be fair, you were aiming for a while.
The next point on from attacking is you take the effect of the attack, so how much you won it by, and you add that to your damage.
Gotcha. Okay,
but
so
then
you
won
the attack by 5.
Where are you aiming?
He's yeah, what part of your body were you aiming for? Because you can call that shot if you want.
I think at this range with a pistol, probably just the body.
Agreed, yeah. Plus the 1d10 confirmed that you would have hit the body had it have been a worse shot, sort of thing. Okay, so you have passed the check by 5. I forget how much armor they're wearing. Did we say it was 6?
Thorstein's got a little bit more, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah,
He's
because
got 8
Thorstein's
and the
actually
other's
the
got
leader.
5.
Yeah, cool. So you've done a total of 17 damage minus 8, which is still respectable. So you've done 9 damage to him. Oh my goodness me, that hurt him quite a lot.
So damage is deducted from your endurance. So you can see his endurance dropped down from 10 to 1.
Oh wow. Okay, so there was a hugely, I wish Myth was around to do the sound effect, but this sort of wind up whack sound as this plasma pistol fired off. This bright green energy bolt comes launching out the front of the pistol. There's a huge recoil on it, which is kind of surprising for a laser pistol. And Thorstein, plasma pistol, sorry, Thorstein gets thumped straight in the chest, and you can see evidence that it's come out of his back as well, splattering our poor little Avi with a little bit of viscera. Poor lad. Oh no, wrong direction. No, splattering the VIP with a little bit of viscera. Thankfully, it didn't go through enough to actually hit the VIP, who would have been stood directly behind him. But it was a shocking amount of damage done to this guy in one hit. Just so you guys are aware, Architect does carry the heftiest weapon out of the bunch, but it has a lot of negatives behind it in other ways that you guys will see as it plays out. Right, unless I've missed anything there, Architect, right. I think we start moving through.
I've just shot my gun, which has massive recoil. I've just taken a -2 to my initiative for next turn, which puts me behind Leah for next turn.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So just have to remember that. So
would you need any kind of shell shock chest or anything like that for taking that much damage?
So when you've lost damage to one stat, you are injured. When you take damage to a second stat, you are badly injured. I haven't actually ever done any battle before, so
I think the rulebook states that when they hit 0 endurance, they're down, right? And unconscious.
I'll double check if you want to carry on.
Thanks. Yeah, cool. Leah, it moves to you. Would you, I would assume, probably take a similar thing of continuing to aim, call where you want to shoot him, and then let that beauty off?
Yeah, exactly.
So where would you like to shoot poor old Phileas? I can't see his day getting much better.
Head.
In the head. Damn, she cold, bro. She cold. He's going to have less armor there as well, so that's a good move. Cool. So if you want to go to the combat section of your character and find your beautiful rifle and then click the little box to the left of it. Oof. Yeah. Okay. So you've done mighty well as well because you got a +3 to aim as well. It's 14, so that's 6 over.
This is why some people say combat is deadly, and some people say nah, it's no problem because it depends how prepared you are.
Absolutely. So just a reminder, was it 6 armor the rest of the boys are wearing?
Yes.
Okay, he's only got
6 is a good number.
Yeah, he's only got 5 on the head. So bearing in mind she just did 20 damage. That's Phileas gone.
Wow, and armor is soak in this game, right?
It's correct. It's a damage reduction on every shot you take. Yeah.
Kamodi was like, try not to kill.
Like somebody's chest explodes, the next guy's heads explode. Yeah. Phileas is immediately down on the floor, taking out a large chunk of his cheek. He's not technically dead. He's technically still alive, but he is most definitely out of the fight. He starts twitching while he's lying on the ground. Things ain't
I'm just
looking
reading
good for him.
the injuries as well. Sorry.
No, that's cool. Can you give me what happens when you hit 0 endurance? Because we've just had that happen.
Injured characters are either wounded or seriously wounded. A character is considered seriously wounded if he has lost at least 1 point from all 3 of his physical characteristics. The way I see it, you split the damage, or you
gotcha.
it's a choice of the character to where they put the damage, which is where the system kind of falls down because I think it's nicer just to split it. But that does mean that you are seriously wounded quite quickly as soon as you've lost endurance.
He is seriously wounded. Yeah, definitely.
There is a roll for consciousness.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember it.
Or you could
just there it is.
Meh.
Yeah, I think in this case, Phileas has taken enough damage that he's definitely in shock at the moment. Thorstein, he's in a lot of combat, although he's lost a large chunk of his torso. He's still in the fight.
That's nuts.
So he's paid mercenary. He's seen this shit.
Who do I have? Who's my target? Thurston?
Thorstein was going to be your target if he's still there by the time he gets round to it. So technically, it's going to be Thorstein's turn next because Jake, although he's now lower in the order, that was due to the recoil. Leah, don't worry, you don't get affected by recoil because you customize your rifle to be recoilless. So there ain't no worries there. And it's a Gore's rifle, so it does a sort of crack. And then bits of this guy's face just disappear. So we move down to Thorstein, who is very briefly going to take a tactical review of the situation. Doesn't believe Gawoni to be a threat. Gawoni still stood there with his hands up, like with a horrifying look of shock on his face, in fact, because they just did what he didn't want them to do. And he's going to try and take a shot at the nearest target to him, which is going to be our boy Jacob. It's not going to be an easy shot for him because it's up a hill. So
I imagine I'm probably under most quarter cover. It was just a -1.
And that would be a -1. Right, cool. Yeah, he hasn't had a chance to aim and he's not going to. Actually, no, he is going to try and aim a little bit because he's probably the most experienced fighter here. Ooh, okay, so he does actually just hit you. What's your armor on your chest again?
Armor on chest is 10, but I haven't got any armor anywhere else.
Okay, hang on a second.
Yeah, these guys are lightly armored and lightly armed, so it's just this is our chance to get the combat system sorted and not kill everyone.
Yeah.
One of them. Phileas does have an assault rifle. But we probably won't get to see that now.
No, he's dropped that. So he does turn, looks up to the thing, sees with a shot that you've just shot him in the chest. He sort of grabs his chest with his left arm, pulls this big old pistol that he's had in his hand up towards you, takes a shot, which does actually hit you in the chest anyway. So you will be taking 3 points from your endurance, please.
Okie dokie.
When Kalanu's able, can he dive down and attack that guy's firing hand?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be taking Kalanu's actions along your actions because you're kind of commanding him, and I'm very sorry, but you got terrible in your initiative.
Oh,
check,
I did. That's why I was like, is it supposed to be dex? Because I rolled a 7 on the dice, and then it showed 3 on the thing. I was like,
Cool. So we're just going to dive through this a bit quicker because I want to sort of get things done for the sake of myth, and we can wrap up the story a bit quicker. So we're going to dive down to Ty. Ty is going to also respond in kind. He's going to turn towards the nearest target for him, which is actually going to be our girl Leah. And I forget what he's got. Very, very quickly.
This is Ty.
Yep.
He should use a minor action to pick up the assault rifle and make 2 attack rolls using full auto, suffering heavy recoil and only a +1 to hit at the nearest target. Is my opinion.
Sorry, Leah, but incoming. So Ty picks up the assault rifle off the body of Phileas for a minor action, turns up towards you, having seen the fire come down. You actually do have some pretty reasonable cover from the rock that you're sat behind, so he's going to be at a total of -1 to hit you because he's got the +1 from the auto, but -2 from the cover, and he fires the assault.
And that effectively empties half the mag. So.
Oh, yeah. Which is just going to hit. Now, you've got 10 armor all over your body, so I'm not going to bother rolling hit locations. So if we give Leah a -3 from her endurance, anyone who's keeping track of that.
Yeah, I just go and stick that
So
on.
he turns up, he sprays a carnage of outlet of bullets towards you. He's obviously not really well trained in this thing. Unfortunately, 2 of them make it past the rock that you stood behind. One of them goes through your left shoulder, goes straight through the armor. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage to still be able to fire without any penalties and stuff, but god damn, it hurts. So we move on to Avi, who is in a position that he can leap up and start shooting whenever he wants.
All right. So I had to feed the cat because I have Robocat feeding the cat.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fire. I need to roll here. I'll go ahead and grab Avi's character sheet. Combat. I have a pistol. A rusty bolt action. Oh, no, that's rusty bolt armor. I've got a scrapper snub pistol. I'm going to go ahead and roll that. Is it just 1 click?
Yep, that's spot on. Yeah, absolutely. And again, you've been aiming for a total of 3 rounds, unless you're using minor action for something else. I would assume getting up.
I've been aiming.
Yeah.
Standing up would be technically a minor action.
So he's at +2 to hit. He's got a shot into the rear of the guy, so there's no problems with that. And he's in no cover whatsoever. So you get a total of 11, 3 over, which means you're doing a total of 9 damage. How much armor did we say Thorstein was wearing?
Thorstein, he's got
8. Cool. So you've got 1 more damage on his endurance there, and that is going to knock him to the ground as well. So Myth suddenly leaps up. This robot sort of pulls out the pistol and boom, straight through the back. In fact, straight through the same hole that that was made by Jacob's giant revolver.
So I missed?
No, you hit him. Yeah.
It went right through his hole.
Yeah.
Didn't hit
Oh,
anything.
yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, but did enough to then put him into shock, and he collapses on the ground as well. He's still alive, but he's writhing around in pain. He's out of the fight, effectively speaking. Gawoni, your action. Now, you technically can do 2 things here. One of them, I would assume, is going to be Kalanu diving in on someone, but I wouldn't worry that Thorstein is now down and out. So, you know, he could probably start picking on Ty. And the other one, I think, would be for you to maybe try and secure the VIP, would be my guess.
Yep.
Sweet, cool.
Oh, right. I can do both because
yeah, that's fine by me. I'm afraid because we didn't really have enough time to build everything. We haven't really created anything for Kalanu's attack system.
Don't worry about it.
So
I could roll the tomahawk if you want.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. If we just assume that it was the equivalent of the tomahawk's version of damage. So yeah, give me the tomahawk. Let's see what happens. Sweet. So there's not going to be too much of a penalty to hit this guy because it's being attached to something. And he dives down onto Ty. He only just about manages to make contact as Ty reels out of the way, scratches him across the neck, and manages to sort of visibly hurt his neck. But the guy's still up and fighting, no problem at all. I forgot Ty didn't take a turn. Fuck, he was too terrified by everything. So we spin back around. Sorry, come on.
Didn't Ty take the assault rifle?
Oh yeah, no, Ty's, yeah, of course, yeah, no, Ty's firing up at the hill, isn't he? Yeah. So we spin back around to the top of the turn. Phileas is down and out, so he doesn't get a shot. Leah, if you'd like to take another shot, you are welcome to. There's only 1 target left that you haven't been aiming at. And you can, if you want, aim for your minor action on the turn. Or you can just take a shot and use your minor action for something else, like charging downhill screaming, "I'm going to kill you, fucks," or whatever you want.
Who's this?
Leah.
Leah. There.
Forgot your character name.
So if you want to, you can take another shot with your assault rifle. If there's with your DMR, if there's something you'd rather do, let me know.
No, absolutely, I'll do it.
Cool. Give us a click on the old button next to the doodad, because I'm assuming you're going to be aiming again. Nice. Okay, unfortunately with that one, you only just managed to make contact with him, but I would imagine it's still going to be enough to do a ridiculous amount of damage. You didn't have a chance to call where you were aiming this time because we're talking quick reaction firing here rather than anything else. So just bear with me 2 seconds.
Awesome.
Sweet, cool. So you shoot him in the chest, and your rifle is doing a shocking amount of damage. God, you've been rolling really well on the damage rolls. So he goes down as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's just kind of sitting there grabbing his nose like, oh, God.
Yeah, you literally take a chunk out of his chest with this DMR.
Is that all 3 of them down?
Yeah, that's all 3 of them down.
Wow.
As we said, we did design this encounter to be really rapid because we didn't want to get bogged down in a huge fight. B, to test the system more than anything else. Hence why I gave you a massive tactical advantage on it.
You've got to imagine if the 3 of them were facing up against 3 of us in an even fight, we would take pretty similar casualties.
Yes.
Which is nasty.
Show you how hefty the damage is. You can see that with one rifle, you can easily end somebody's life with one shot. No problem at all. And bear that in mind in the future.
Yeah. You guys are bringing your endurance down by 3. If I did that twice, I'd have 0.
Yeah, exactly right. And then you'd be unconscious. Yeah. Now, I don't want to get too bogged down in the tail end of this story because we do have to move on to the next wonderful episode of the Mythematic channel. So we're just going to quickly wrap up things from here. Gawoni, you've managed to secure the now screaming, covered in, unfortunately, bits of body parts, the VIP. Guy, Jacob, and Leah, you scrabble down the side of the hill. Avi's probably like, yay, I did my job.
Can I heal them all?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to just very quickly give me a medic check, I'll sort of aggregate the roll for everybody else to bring you guys endurance back up. If not, they can be naturally healed. Yep, so if you just click the old medic button in your skill tree.
Mm-hmm. And then it asks for ability.
Intellect.
Because I like just the way that he is, like he would even treat them, the wounded.
Oh, sorry, you mean the guys on the ground?
Get rid of their weapons.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Before they left and stuff. Obviously,
didn't quite make it. If you want to, you can spend an extra 10 minutes making sure that you do help them. Sure, cool. So he sits down and starts to patch them up, making sure they're not going to die. Unfortunately, Phileas is dead. He's just straight out dead. You tried what you could, but he's got very little face left. So Ty, on the other hand, you can help him about. Actually, Ty took the most damage. No, Ty's completely gone. Sorry, Phileas was recoverable, but Ty, who was the one who fired with the assault rifle, he's gone. There's nothing you can do for him. Unfortunately, too much liver damage. Nice. Phileas and Thorstein, on the other hand, you managed to patch up to a certain degree and kind of leave them in a stable condition. You know what I mean? They're gonna survive. They're not in a position where they can do anything else to help you. The VIP, I said the VIP, the final refugee. His name was Zander, if we all remember, is just stood there screaming. There's blood all over him. Raven was darting around him. There's a giant robot stood there going, hooray! He has no idea what to make of it, and is probably being approached by Jacob right now. So we don't want to get too bogged down on this, but I would assume Jacob will probably slip out a little knife and fiddle around with his arm for a couple of minutes, which might unnerve the rest of you. But I think Xander was expecting something like this to happen, so he just kind of produces his arm. He cut his bonds, obviously. He just kind of produces his arm and gives a resigned look of, go on, if you've got to do it, just do it.
Of course, I haven't told anyone about this yet.
Nope, nobody knows. But you're watching him do this. He's cut something out of this guy's arm, like a little metal something or other. And anyway, that is, we will pretend that your characters realize discretion is the better part of that. Yes, you've all witnessed that, yeah. We'll assume you guys have assumed that discretion is the better part of valor. And, just sort of take the lead and escort this guy back to the ship, which nothing has happened to. I mean, Kalani's been keeping an eye, make sure nobody's come back to the ship. You know, he's a really useful character to have around. You will get on board the shuttle, the Kodomo, and lifts off from the planet. Start to make your way back to the Katamaru, where Joe's been waiting this whole time. He's just about got the engine fixed up. You managed to complete the docking procedures. Igor welcomes you back in. You take the refugee down. He's very grateful. Some of Xander's family were in the group that you'd saved earlier, and this little kid runs up, "Dad, yay!" And you'll get that warm feeling inside of being good guys. Or if you're a robot, your emotion computational programming matrix receives a positive feedback loop. Even Leah, you crack a little smile because, you know, you got a soft spot for kids, bearing in mind your backstory, you know. You guys start to leave the system. You've got a 5 to 6 day jump to where the refugees need to be dropped off. You'll be heading to a planet I've forgotten to pick the name for, but we'll say you're going back to the Olmeda asteroid belt. And en route, obviously, we'll be able to sort of deal with the role-playing of that next week. Just a final quick one, because I'm thinking some people in the audience might be interested to know. Jacob, you sequester yourself off very rapidly to your bunk and sit down and decode the message using the standard mercenary decoder things. And it is a message from the Merkaba Corporation, who you know are one of the ship manufacturers in the sector, to the Alliance Main Industry Control Unit. And it says the following: we have a new contract of 40 destroyers ready to deploy. If you refuse purchase, they will be put to use. Voina will no longer hold a monopoly over the Alliance military. Our voices will be heard. Now, obviously, you were told not to read that, but I'm assuming you wanted to read that. You forward it on to the party members, you know, the party that you were told to forward it to, and immediately everybody's credit accounts start to come. You are in range of IS relays at this point, so you're getting immediate communication. Immediately, everyone's credit accounts are buffed up. I'll deal with all of the actual in-game mechanics of what money you're going to get and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to drop that final bit in there because this is the beginning of one of the larger story arcs that I want to play through that you guys are going to get incidentally tangled into. Does anyone have anything they want to chuck in right at the end here? Anything they would have done or anything, you know, if Myth's got time for this?
We got time. Anybody want to do anything real quick?
Just make sure everybody's patched up as best as possible.
Cool.
We can make sure probably do that between jumps or something.
His surgery thing that he did on that guy's arm down on the ground was done, you know, fixed up, right?
Oh yeah, yes, it's time to get some attention. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is anyone gonna talk to Jacob about that?
Well, Jacob is going to approach Guabi and Guan. Oh, I always get it wrong. And it's like, I appreciate your discretion and your support on this mission. It's not an easy thing to do. I've been doing it for some years, but we're not going out to hurt people or cause trouble. But so these are things you got to do.
Well, I don't see why someone needs a tracker in them, so must have been slave trade.
It's all corporate politics, and if I were you, I'd try not to get involved in that.
Anyone else want to pull him aside during the journey just to ask him about anything?
I probably will, but I'm going to save it for next time.
Yeah.
Roger that. So we'll wrap up the episode there, guys. Thank you so much. This has been Meridian episode 1, and we hope to be returning next week with more corporate fandangery and fun shooting people in the face.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Solace. Thank you, Solace. Thank you, Damstern. Thank you, Grenig, who's not here, Architect, and Raven of Death. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Guys, this has been, we are a half hour over schedule. We are going to head into, it's okay, you're good. We're going to head right into the chains that break. The cameras are going to be screwed up. The names are not going to be correct. I just need to go right into it. So we are going to go quickly around to those of us who thoughts of the game, and as well as where can we find you on the internet if you have any questions or anything like that. Let's start with Architect.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't. I was listening.
Just so we're going around. Just what did you think of the episode and all that stuff? Just kind of.
I think I've been wanting to try Traveller for a year or two now. It's a 40-year-old system that doesn't really change much. There's so many different versions of it, but it's inspired Firefly, The Expanse, Elite Dangerous, and it's great. It's a really role-play based system, and the combat we practice on, but it's just great fun, and I'm really glad that everyone got involved.
Deadly too, which is so fun because you could role play around it because you don't want to be like, let's go, Gods of Blazing. You have to try to.
The rule suggests that if you get into combat, go and hide.
Yeah. Get cover. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, man. Raven of Death, what's up? How did you like it? Where can we find you?
I thought it was great. Been looking for a tabletop system that's kind of character creation was super fun in this, which
Yeah.
is a huge thing for me. And you guys can find me at twitch.tv/TheRavenofDeath.
There we
And
go.
on all
Check him
social
out. He does
media.
awesome content.
Well, thank you, sir.
Awesome. And Damstern. Don't worry, James. We've got D&D right after this. Go ahead, Damstern. What did you like?
Yes,
Did you enjoy it?
it's been so much fun, and thank you guys for letting me be here.
Of course. It was tons of fun. You've got a badass character. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I love your character.
Lady of
She's
few
great.
words, but
Yeah.
my God, when she needs to scream, it's a bullet coming out of a barrel. It's
Exactly.
Exactly. But thank you so much. And last is Solace, our narrator, our GM, our games master, our referee. So much,
I
man.
loved it, guys. Thank you so much. This has been a dream for me to do something like this for a while. I'm finding my feet as a GM, so thank you for being patient with me. I hope that I'll have a bit more prep done for next week, because a lot of this was a last minute. Oh God, fuck! We've spent too long designing the ship. I just want to say a huge thanks to each of the players. Like Raven, you've been absolutely top notch. I love your character. I love the depth to him. I think he's going to be a really nice moral compass for this group. Damps, you scared the crap out of me. It's fantastic. And we needed some muscle, so it's great to have this, like, you know, sort of slight girl wandering around just being like, I'll do all the killing, it's fine. Myth, you had me in fits pretty much every time the voice came on, but I really liked that. I mean, particularly the battle droid bit was just so fun.
That was awesome.
That was the countdown in the smoke. That was awesome. Yeah, Grinnig in his absence, thank you so much, buddy. We're loving your character too. Can't wait to have you in for a full episode, hopefully in the future. Architect, massive props for all the work you've done, dude. I love your character, and thank you for for being my voice in the campaign. He's had a lot of prompting of like, make them do this, make them do this. And he's playing it so perfectly. And he's also done a ton of work. You guys have no idea how much he's put into this. Hundreds
all the
of
mapping
hours.
and everything is
all him, man, all the rules, everything.
That's the best bit.
He loves it, he says, but you know, it's just been brilliant for me because I've just been able to focus on the narrative, which kind of botched today, but we're moving towards more exciting.
I thought it was
things.
great. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it was
really
guys. Fun.
And Myth finally as well. Thank you so much for hosting us. That was not our intent when we came up with this.
No,
It's been
not
a really
at all.
good
Thank you so
platform
much.
for
I
it.
mean, yeah, I knew with this group it was going to be a lot of fun and a really good story and some great content, and I wanted to share it with everybody. It didn't really matter where we were going to have it, but I wanted to at least be able to record it. So, guys, thanks so much for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. It was really a lot of fun. We got to head over to Chains That Break. The next game is our subscriber Dungeons and Dragons game. Raven, you're in that one, right? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Great. Right. You're with me on this one. We are going all the way through this just 6 hours of Dungeons and Dragons. We got a couple others as well who are going to be joining us as well. It's going to be tons of fun. So let's switch on over to some sort of everybody's leaving, everybody's dropping out, but let's get. Let me switch over to this screen. No, not this one. No, is it this one? Is it this one? It's this one.
No, that one right there.
Yeah, there we go.